Hey, what's going on? It's gonna be an interesting one. Half of Renovision is sick. The one third of Darkseid's out kicking little kids and telling them Christmas doesn't exist. Or wait, sorry, Santa Claus. And Dom is Dom had to do a toy thing, so we'll see if he actually gets it done or not in time. Let's say hi to chat. Oh, and Thad's back, by the way. Thad.
What's up?
Day two, both of them. Either way, he's back. So at least we got something here. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to be sneezing periodically during the show, I bet. GT Key Comics, hey, thumbs up. Ruben, SW, Sunday is such a great day. Makes my workday go by much faster. Is that why you're hoping we were getting on that quickly? All right, Vader Prime. Come for the news, stay for the rants. Have a good show, fellas. Thank you. Thank you, Vader. Found a Star Wars Insider. Oh, $1.99. Nice. Cover for, what is it, £3 at a show today? So that's like $4.16. That's good. That's a good deal. People like that deal. Tommy, Star Wars Sunday with the Darkside Crew. Doesn't get any better than this. Cheers. Eric, hi. Eric. John Sanders, hello. Hi. Kenny Bishop, popcorn is ready and hope someone brings up the new Moon Knight to Dom. Why would we bring up Moon Knight in Star Wars show? I don't know. Saying hi for the algorithm. Joe, good evening, Darksider. Good evening. Welcome. Flavor Town. 1 minute. Yeah. I know. We're running be fine. Hello, guys. Good. Justin.
What's up, Bruce?
Hey, guys. Have a good show. All right. Anyways, so this week we got a couple interesting things. One, over the week we have found out what the Thrawn cover was. Hey, big surprise, we were right. But we're going to cover a couple of things on the Thrawn comics because it's kind of interesting coming up. Next week, we're probably going to sit down because Wayseeker is kicking little children right now and telling them Santa Claus doesn't exist. He will be back next week, and we're going to kind of review like what we're looking forward to in the upcoming comics because it has made a change, and we'll talk about it a little bit later during the comic review. We have news, and then we do have a toy seg. But like I said, Dom, I don't know. He's been banned, so we'll see what happens. All right, let's get into this week of news before he comes back. Star Wars this week in new Star Wars. By the way, Wayseeker did all this, so I don't know where it's at. Anyway, buying this rumor. Next Star Wars movie to be released in theaters will be The Mandalorian. See, look at how he says that it's going to be Dave's season 4, not Rey or Dave's Thrawn movie. Well, technically, they're doing this because it's a troll, because Dom, this is 100% a troll for Dom, because as soon as this came out, Pete had put it in the chat, like, guess Marco was right, that this is Dave's movie. He is the Mandalorian guy. The Thrawn movie is the Mandalorian movie. It's all part of, see how they're trying, here comes Dom, just in time for this. See how they're trying to do the, like this? They're trying, hey, Dom, where are you, at a hotel?
Yeah, me and my wife went away for the weekend. For the day.
You just forgot to tell us that during the week. You told me like 1 hour ago.
Well, you know what happened was it just happened.
Don't care. We're already on live show. Don't care. Okay, so you just made it for this first headline. So I want to hear, you and Wayseeker are trolling me at this point because you're saying that it's Dave F, not Dave, what's his name? The other one that wears cowboy boots movie. But as you recall, if you rewind the tape, I said that the Mandoverse, a.k.a. Filoniverse, a.k.a. whatever movie he's doing up, will be the first one up. It has now been reported by some shady website that I don't trust. However, it got you guys all in a tizzy that will be the first movie to hear.
No, if you go back, this was already said that it was a rumor stating that this was going to happen. And now it's maybe going to happen now. It's even more of a possibility. We'll see.
It's not more of a possibility. I'm telling you this is going to happen. It does not matter what all the other rumors say, because this is logically the one answer. One, Dave Filoni, who just got a promotion and is in charge of live action, is his co-charge of live action. Let's use some common sense with this. Okay? Follow me on here. They want a movie and they want to bring Star Wars back to the big screen. You think little Dave in his cowboy hat and his boots isn't like me first? Of course he is.
It's just like James Gunn over at DC. Of course they're first.
Yeah.
Well, look,
hey, John.
If you look at it this way, you know that if he gets a chance to do something first before Rey and that possible monstrosity gets dropped first. He wants
You
to
don't
be
know
out
what that's
there.
going to be. It can't be worse than the Book of Boba Fett, which, by the way, these guys did.
Well, the whole fact is that Kathleen Kennedy was the one that was pulling the strings.
Oh my God! Not with this nonsense again.
I'm sorry.
Tom, you don't know. First off, this just proves that you don't know how any of this works. Okay. Number one, you didn't believe me when I told you that Dave was going to put this out first, which he is.
No, I told you. You said no. You were talking about Herald of the Empire. Yes, you said Herald of the Empire.
No, I said Dave verse, Filoni verse. This is Filoni verse. Mandalorian and Thrawn combined together for the big epic event is Filoni verse. That's the movie.
But they're saying a movie for us, Ahsoka season 2 and Mando season 4 might be first before the Herald of the Empire. That's what they're saying.
It's all part of Filoniverse. It doesn't. I said Dave's going to have the first movie. Doesn't matter what Dave's movie is. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, and who cares what movie it is? Dom is 70 Pursuit done with building his real life Razor Crest. I don't think he will. He's going to fly it to LaGuardia. Thanks. Once again.
Are you Dr. LaGuardia?
Yeah.
I hate LaGuardia.
Either way, I don't care. I don't care. I'll be honest with you. I've been watching a couple of movies that are there. The one good thing about Star Wars movies are they are better to watch in the theater. Let's just get one out, see what it looks like. Give it 2 years. Give it the proper treatment. I guess the only thing I can say about Dave getting his movie out first is we know this. No matter if it sucks or not, it'll be just him writing it. He'll pick everything out, and it'll at least be in his image, right?
Well,
that's the one thing we'll know.
Well, look, he did put out the Ahsoka episode in the movie theater, and it got great review. No, it got a great response. So
it did.
I mean, Star Wars on the big screen is where it's supposed to be seen. I mean, those space battles look better there no matter what. And maybe his stuff plays better. The only problem that I have with it is what I've always had a problem with it. It's not going to be one movie, is something also I've said, because he doesn't want to do that. He wants to do 3. So this right here makes perfect sense. You combine this as the first one. You just do his whole universe. You bring in the Thrawn thing as the second one. They get the second part of that, Ahsoka, Thrawn, or whatever the fuck they call that show. Which you just said they were going to merge Ahsoka together.
Well,
Thrawn's in Ahsoka.
What I've heard is that we're going to get Ahsoka season 2 and Mandalorian season 4 before this movie, which isn't such a bad thing, to be honest.
Well, they're saying now. No, what this rumor was saying, this one that they sent to us, was that they're combining those two things and they're turning it into a movie.
Well, see, there's some question on that, because I hear one side going, we're still going to get those 2 seasons on Disney Plus and then a movie after that. There's not a whole lot of sense being made right now. And honestly, we're not going to get anything before 2025 anyway.
I was always under the impression that they brought Dave in, and that why they brought Favreau in was that he could Favreau so that he could mentor Filoni out of animation into live action. And
that
they
was
were
the
always
point.
And they've always had a plan of making Dave, and what they did is co-job now, where he's this has always been the plan. Dom somehow surprised. We've been talking about this shit for 3 to 5 years. Somehow he's surprised with shit happens.
I'm not surprised.
And then blame shit on stuff that doesn't exist. But this is exact. They're still doing the exact same thing they've always planned on doing. And now Dave's in charge of live. He's a co-charge from the live action stuff. Guess what he's going to do? Bump his movie to the front.
Filoni has been, according to what's being said now and what he hinted at in an interview, he's actually been in charge since closer to the first of the year. They just didn't mention it because of the strikes. So he's actually been in charge since probably March.
Well, if you've been watching Tales from the Dark Side, then that's what we've been saying. But Dom hasn't. Dom's been saying the Illuminati's out there fucking controlling Disney. So. I mean, I don't know, dude.
I never said the Illuminati's controlling it. I just said that Kathleen Kennedy is the one that says things, and that's why a lot of shit was messed up.
You're wrong. You're 100% wrong. You're 100%. Not anywhere close. You're 100% wrong. No, I do.
Listen,
I do.
Do you honestly think that Dave and friggin' Jon Favreau said, let's put these friggin' these mods in the friggin' goddamn Book of Boba Fett?
Yes, 100%.
No.
Yes,
100%.
they did. They said so. Go watch the behind the scenes thing, Dom. What do you think? They're making it up? Are they really aliens under their skins?
Listen,
Dom, come on. Dom.
listen.
Hey, stop. No, we're not going to listen. What I'm going to tell you right now is there's facts and there isn't facts. You're spouting shit that's not facts. Dave and them did. They 100% added that in. If you want to blame hiring the wrong people, go ahead and blame it on KK. She has, including, I would say, one of the Daves. But if you want to blame the crap that happened in Book of Boba Fett, well then, go ahead and watch the behind the scenes. And the two dudes and Mr. Lucas there who are talking about how they love putting that shit in there, blame them. Don't make shit up on here. You can make shit up on other shows, but don't make a shit up here. All right, next up. What is this? Star Wars Vision episode, Creatures Reach wins. Okay. Did you like this episode?
That's interesting.
Yeah. I actually liked it because of the horror aspect, the Sith that was in the cave.
Yeah.
Which was actually pretty cool.
This was not one of my favorite episodes out of
Vision. It wasn't. But
my favorite episode has to be Ronin, but that's beside the point.
Well, Ronin's my favorite episode from the original, but on this was the first one with the girl that she was doing the painting.
The painting girl, yeah.
I also like the one that was like, wasn't it the one where the lady that was doing the dancer? I like that.
Yes, I like that one too. No, I like that one.
That was good. That one was dope. I gotta say they did this a lot better. But Dom's got a good point on a lot of these too. We always talk about it. I think how well Visionaries is doing in some of this stuff. Wait, are you gonna give Kathleen Kennedy credit for Visionaries or no? Okay. Well, anyways, I think how well Visionaries is doing on some of this stuff, that this is how we need to find the new talent, right? Like, unfortunately, they're doing it the wrong way. They had a Momoka thing and then they're like going on. But like, have these people do shorts, not just in the Visionary style, but have them do shorts. And since Filoni comes from this animated thing, he should be able to teach these writers very quickly how to move their animation over into a live action situation.
See, now that would be awesome if they could do live action, like shows in this style and get the okay. But, it all depends on the money wise. And that's look, me and us would say that we do like the Visions. I like Visions.
Yeah.
I think Visions is unique and it's different, but there's some people that don't like it at all. It's the same thing with everything else.
There's like one or two people, but they're crotchety old people. The thing with Visions that's kind of interesting. The thing with Visions that's kind of interesting is this. It's very simple. Not every show, not everyone you're gonna like, but you're gonna find a couple in there that you did, right?
You see, like Ronin, for example, right? How great that was in the first. Yeah. Do a live action Ronin that way. That would definitely get a lot of play. People will love it. People love the animation.
I don't even think you have to do live. I don't think you have to do live action with Ronin. If you just take Ronin and expand about it, give it like after Bad Batch ends, all of a sudden you do a little 6-episode version of Ronin. I think that would hit, dude. That's what I'm saying. We don't have to start. The biggest problem with Star Wars isn't what you're saying, an executive or something else. The biggest problem with Star Wars is they keep trying to conform it to what they're like. Dave does this thing where he conforms it to what he thinks Lucas's vision was, right? Instead of adding his own stuff. When he did Clone Wars, he added his own element into it, which made it better, right? That's cool. But when they start to try to pigeonhole it, well, we have to always have, like, they kind of did it with High Republic in the comic books, and it ruined it. We always have to segment everything into the 3 sections. It's always got to be the middle first, then the prequel, then the sequel. They do it with everything. The movies they did it with, the movie sets. They're doing it with now with the High Republic in the comic books and all these other things. Don't do that. Just see what works. Put out samplers like they did with Visions. Take the chunks that work and keep doing it. One of the biggest mistakes they've ever made, and it probably was a foreshadowing for the Dave thing, is Freemakers.
Look at it this way, you see the thing with Star Wars, the whole canon thing. I don't think yes, the cartoons are one thing, but live action, I don't. Because of the way Star Wars is made and the way they do Star Wars, I don't think that they want to put out live action of something that's not canon to confuse the individual. But me personally, I think that would be a perfect thing to put something different.
Aren't the Visions things?
You don't have to invest in every single thing to know something. It's something new and unique, and people would love that. People should. They would definitely see how cool it is that you could do something live action that's not even connected. Yeah, the animated is one thing, but live action will be another level.
See, I think it's different. I think, and I don't think I'm not saying that you can't, but I think there's a large percentage of the fan base that sticks around to canon. It's what makes that fan base different than any other fan base, like the diehards. And like when you do stuff in cartoons, but that's what I was gonna say they killed off Freemakers. If you guys ever watched the Freemakers thing, it was hilarious. It was non-canon. It was funny. They kind of made fun of themselves a little bit. They made fun of all types of stuff. Actually, I just watched the Christmas special. The Lego stuff is the best. The Christmas special makes fun of the name of what's the new Death Star in the last. Like it makes fun of the last movies a lot. Like those are the ones that are cool. The problem that I'm seeing here is they don't like that type of stuff, which is unfortunate. We should be able to laugh at ourselves a little bit when stuff doesn't hit. We should say like, it's weird as shit that we found a knife like the Goonies in the fucking thing, right?
Well, that's the problem with the fan base, in my opinion, and why things get so toxic is people don't know how to not take themselves too seriously. And I see the same problem in the Star Trek fandom too, but like we should be able to like Marco just said, don't take ourselves so seriously, man.
Well,
go ahead, Don.
I'm sorry. The one thing I can honestly say, all right, the sequel trilogy didn't get a lot of love. There's certain people that love it, they love it. If they were smart, if Lucasfilm was smart, they would have took the best things out of the sequel trilogy and made some other things like the Knights of Ren. How cool were the Knights of Ren? You could have made a show with the Knights of Ren.
I don't think, Dom, we've talked about this before, and I know your idea is not. It's not a bad thing. It's good that you have these imagination stuff, but like the execution is not where you stand. Like you do not stand on execution. The Knights of Ren thing can still be coming down the road. And I think it will be, especially when they mention the movie. I think
we don't know.
Yeah.
And then the thing about that is this is like everybody's problem with how they portrayed Skywalker in the sequel trilogy. We didn't get the build up, and I think that's what pisses most people off. We didn't get a build up to see what he had done before that. Do understand, he did create his Jedi Order. Now, we've seen the aftermath of what happened to it, but we haven't seen where to get there,
You know what? When we get done with news, we're going to play a game that I was playing. I had a con the other day. I played a game with somebody that was like, name the top 3, and you'd be like the top 3, or like put your top or 5, whatever it was, but you do like top 3 original characters, like in the original trilogy, which would be the Skywalker family. So it's Solo, blah, blah, blah. And you go through those 3 and rank them. Like, where are you going to rank Luke? If it was only 3, where you put Luke, Leia, and whatever, and do that. And you want to know what? The 3 other people I was playing with, no matter, we have different opinions on everything else. Not one of them put Luke first. Not one. So like this fake outrage of Luke is just, I mean, it's beyond me. All right, we're moving on.
It is.
We can play this. We can play this game afterwards with the chat. I think you guys will like it. All right. Oh man, E-Man. Yep, good luck with that last name. Hence, there's a mysterious backstory to Ezra's chainmail. Does anyone care?
Okay, so I know a little bit about this because I remember reading about it when Ahsoka was out. Borat, a Star Wars story. Eman Esfandi is, by the way, his last name.
Esfandi, there you go.
Esfandi. The chainmail, or at least what he was hinting at, the chainmail is actually made out of the stormtrooper tags, their identification tags. And that was he hinted at the fact that it was all of the stormtroopers that Thrawn had lost over the time that they were both on that planet. He's been killing them. He's been basically a ghost, and he's taking their tags as to build his armor because he didn't have any,
Yeah.
And that's kind of, in my opinion, very un-Jedi. almost tipping towards the dark side just a little bit.
You see, that's what I'm trying to say. That the execution to this of them leading to finding him on the planet and all that stuff like that kind of like was underwhelming because it could have went so many different ways. Is he sane enough? Now he's all right. Who's to say that he's back in the regular universe now? And he could be not all there.
Well, we saw in that one comic where they brought it back. But here's the other. But this is this is why, and I like to give it to the chat because they gave me a lot of crap for this. This is why I was disappointed in this show, right? Like they didn't give us anything. Like, we don't know anything about Ezra. All those questions you're asking, we should have at least got some type of feeling of what Ezra's about or what he did out there for all those years, besides leading around sand people or whatever, like the little troll people, but we didn't. And that's where we got to be very careful about that first bit of news, because if Dave comes up with a movie, I don't know how it's going to hit, because all it'll have in it is nostalgia marks, but the storytelling, I don't think it's going to be for us Star Wars fans. I don't think it is, because I mean, Dave gets set in this way of like, well, I'm just going to give you a part so that I can give you the middle, so I can give you the beginning, and then try to make the end the bet. You know what I mean? And that's just, I don't know. We'll see, though. I mean, I don't care about this guy's chainmail. I don't care where. I'm not that.
I found it a little bit of an interesting story for like 5 seconds. That's why I looked into it. But
oh wow, hard take from John.
Luke
Skywalker isn't whiny as Rey. Oh shit! Shots fired.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Well, the whole fact is that what was underwhelming is that when Sabine found him, they didn't like they didn't see each other for like over 10 years. But then they said that it's the way they always acted with each other. If you watch the cartoon, they had that type of relationship where it was just like a nonchalant. It wasn't like anything.
I get that, but that's one of the problems I have with it. Is like, I get that he's harkening back to his animation stuff, but that was even what stiffens up Ahsoka. He was using the 2 move from the original animations from the TV show or from the movie. Like, I get that, but this is live action, dude. Like, I get that. That's the only problem I have with Dave, or the biggest problem I have with Dave. I've got a couple, but the biggest problem I have with Dave is like all he does is callbacks. He did this whole Ahsoka thing, and Joe's got a good point here. You got a trailer for season 2. That's all season 1 was, and his point was a lot of that Ahsoka. It wasn't terrible. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't blow out of the water. A majority of it was just callbacks. It was either callback to the animation or callback to other little Star Wars tidbits, like Easter egg type bullshit, which is great for those people that make Easter egg movies. But as we've seen, like, Back to Andor does better and there was no Easter eggs in that shit. Like, people didn't, like, the Easter egg people weren't making fucking shit all videos. So Dom is saying that he's becoming the what?
Look, the way, see, we can't determine on how Dave tells a story. Who knows what the outcome's going to be? Because, look, we all know that Luke lost the whole Jedi temple. Everybody died. Who's to say that Ezra didn't have anything to do with some of that stuff and was killed off? Or we have no idea what happened to him, because him and Luke do get together. They have to, because they're in the same.
You don't know that. You don't know that. But here's the biggest disappointing part. Dom, you're right. Finding out something about Ezra would have been nice. Would have been fucking nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Editions of both Survivor's Quest and Outbound Flight coming this month as part of a Central Legends collection.
So that's like, everybody always talks about Heir to the Empire. After the Heir to the Empire, you get Survivor's Quest and Outbound Flight, 2 other Thrawn books, also done by Timothy. They're really good. So they're coming out with their audio editions, which means that somebody else is going to read it. Hopefully not the person that's been reading High Republic. I can't remember the last.
Wasn't Outbound Flight part of the prequel era?
Didn't he do it the same? That's what I'm saying, like Star Wars. I think he did it. Yes, I think it was that Outbound Flight was, once again, was it part of the prequel?
Yeah, Outbound Flight talks. It has Anakin and Obi-Wan in it.
Does it? I know that the next one does. So. I know that the newer trilogy does. But did Outbound Flight have it in it too? I can't.
Hold on, let me make sure.
I haven't read Outbound Flight. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I haven't read Outbound Flight in probably 15 years.
But let me ask you a question: if they're putting all this legend stuff out, and
hold on, the way it's not. Well, as a version, I mean, I guess. Ring the bell. I guess you're right. So there we go.
Could have had his way with those little turtle.
Hey, Dom. That'll get us spots on YouTube, bud.
Okay, so Outbound Flight takes place 5 years after the Naboo stuff.
Okay, yeah, in between.
In the prequels, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like how they did the thing with alliances and everything else when they did the.
Yeah, it's how he stepped back and told the story of Jorah Saboath when he went out with the Outbound Flight.
That's right. Though.
Well, you see, all this stuff is coming out of Legends, that they're doing this and doing audiobooks. Why would they waste their time re-releasing this stuff? And
it's not a waste of time because people are going to download it and it's going to make money.
Yeah, but it's not part of canon. Which
well,
who cares?
The thing is, why they're doing it is because they can connect it to canon. Because, like we've noticed over the last several years, they've been slowly drip feeding Legend stuff into canon. So that's why they're doing it.
But this one already, Outbound Flight has already been redone. Alliance is the redo of Outbound Flight.
Outbound Flight, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they've already redone it. But here's the difference. What does it cost them for an audiobook? But what's every download for an audiobook? They probably make what, $3 per every audiobook? All of a sudden you get $3 million off of that. Of course you would redo that. Why did they reprint the Legacy stuff all over and over again? Because they make money off of it. Do they have to pay off as many of the points to everybody else? No, they don't make as much as the new content they come up with because they own more rights to that.
But what about they do have to pay the creators that made this Legend stuff?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're paying Timothy Zahn. And Zahn's still part of canon.
On canon stuff. But they don't just do that. They have to pay. There's other stuff that's on there. Like they have to pay the writers for. There's probably a point or two that goes to the arts and the book. There's probably whoever the original publisher. I mean, Del Rey gets it, but like whoever was the printing company, whatever it was, they have to move the stuff around, dude. So instead of just going to each individual case like that, that's why they create new canon. So then the legacy stuff, just to reprint it, it's a reprint, and I would assume the points aren't as high on it. Publishing points aren't something I know that much about. Yeah, John's got it right. They do it because Disney likes money, bro. They do.
Yeah, and they still know that they have an audience for the Legend stuff. They understand that the fandom sometimes some aspects of the fandom just concern themselves with Legend stuff and don't like the Disney canon. So,
as much as I love canon and hate what Dave Filoni's doing with it, I also equally. I was talking this weekend about Stories from Jabba's Palace.
Yeah, Tales from Jabba's Palace. Yeah,
Tales from Jabba's Palace. Yeah. It's a great book. There's awesome stuff in there. Have they redone some of those stories? Sure. From a different point of view and stuff, but like those ones were dope. The Bounty Hunter ones was all right, but like those were dope as shit.
The books from a certain point of view are so cool.
They are, but they're based off of all those tales, like Tales from the Bounty Hunters, Tales from Jabba's Palace. I mean, actually, there's one like we were talking about the Game Master and how they changed around his story. And because I was talking to a buddy, he's like, "Well, what?" Well, I said, "Yeah, that was from Tales," and he's like, "Oh, I thought it was newer." I said, "No, they redid a story of him and it kind of explained it differently." But yeah, the Tales one was better. But some of that stuff was also really big trash. So I do like the new stuff they're putting out in most cases, written wise, because they take the bad stuff and they change it around, which is kind of dope. So, all right, moving on. Yeah. No, BK's God, believe this. If BK is on your side, you're on the wrong side of the fence. Just going to let you know that one. New Mace Windu novel announced for 2024. Will center around Mace's complicated history with Qui-Gon Jinn. This is cool. Mace will fulfill a mission to Qui-Gon following his death. I like it, but I don't like it. What is everybody's obsession with Mace Windu?
Sam Jackson.
I like him. No, I like him, and I like some of his character. Right? Like, I mean, I like some, but we've gotten backstory on him already. I don't think we need to do. I mean, there's a large. I'm telling you, ask Dom. There's a large outcry for this.
Yeah.
People want him back. People want him in the Disney.
Still alive. They want him alive.
Yeah. Well, sure, but like. They want him to say that he survived his fall,
because they still want. There's still stuff that is unfinished. Like the whole thing with
unfinished. He got thrown out the fucking window and died. Go ahead, Dom. Give it to me.
Well, the whole fact is that there's still the Boba Fett going after him for killing his dad. People want to see that. People want to see. If that happens.
Also, we saw Anakin in the prequel movies take a 30-story swan dive.
Yes, out of the car.
Yeah, but he wasn't getting giggly by like force lightning.
Yeah, but these guys are Jedi, man. Jedi survived some insane stuff, with the exception of Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon's the only Jedi that died like.
also, like on top prequel Jedis, Qui-Gon, not exactly one I want any more story about.
No.
You know what I mean? Just not.
But then again, we got a shit ton of story on him in the legacy canon. So
I'll take a story of him when he was young and his master and he was the
Yoda?
apprentice. I want to see that.
Wasn't Yoda his master? I don't give a shit.
Who, Qui-Gon?
No.
Dooku. Dooku was Qui-Gon's
Dooku.
master.
Yeah, it was Dooku. Yeah.
I
want to see more Dooku.
We've already gotten stories of that in Tales of the Jedi.
That's right. It was. Show. Yeah, and I'd rather have more Dooku with his buddy when they're in the library stories. And,
yeah,
you know what I mean. I'd rather have more of that.
Yeah,
Sifo Dyas. I'd rather have more Sifo Dyas stories than this. I mean, at least look. If it was Mace and like tracking down Jango Fett before he cuts off his head, or Mace doing something before he became a knight, and they want to retell that story, and somehow he's like, I don't know, almost like a way seeker for a little bit, I'm down with that. But him and hanging out with Qui-Gon, boring ass Jin, like, I mean,
I don't think Qui-Gon was born. I think Qui-Gon had a very interesting story, being the Padawan to Dooku and stuff like that. I kind of
Qui-Gon didn't sacrifice himself. He got worn out in a fight with a Sith that was much more in shape than he was. I mean, come on. Yeah. Qui-Gon was in his 60s.
Yeah, true.
No.
TMT. Wow, TMNT. Dude, Qui-Gon got a robot torso face painted.
Well, I'll tell you what, the only person to survive 2 stabs to the stomach was Reva. And that's why everybody hates the Obi-Wan series.
I don't actually hate the Obi-Wan series.
Oh no, I hate the Obi-Wan series because it sucked. I don't hate it because of Reva. I'll tell you that much.
I don't hate the Obi-Wan series, but then again,
it's not that I hate Reva. I just hate the way that she was written. That how did she survive 2 stab wounds to the stomach? Which, come on, man.
Well, once again, they did a poor job in overall visuals on that, but you got to put that on Dave. That's what I'm telling you. You have all this misdirected anger. The name is on it. The name is literally, you don't have to. All you have to do is watch the behind the scenes and then watch where the name is, Dom. Just do your due diligence. Wait, let those credits roll. And when you see Dave, and Dave during all the things you complain about, there's one person you can direct it to. And I'm not saying you should direct all your anger to Dave's because I think he does some great stuff too. But I think you should at least go there and watch the stuff.
Just like anybody making these IPs, making these movies, all of it, okay? They're going to make mistakes. Okay, yeah. Nothing is perfect, and we're not going to get any hell. Like we talked about last week, even George wasn't perfect. Okay,
they made a lot of mistakes though lately. Yeah. They made a lot.
But
we're going to move along from Mace. Oh, cool! We're getting some High Republic news.
Really quick, the whole stuff with George Lucas compared to now, made the mistakes. Yeah, he made the mistakes, and it went by some fans and some people. The same fans that are complaining now about the situation was the same fans that booted George from being the selling off Lucasfilm.
Oh, I know.
Look, at the end of the day, I have my own reasons. I know. And listen, I could be wrong. And listen, at the end of the day, maybe when the new movie comes out, Dave brings it out, and it makes Star Wars phenomenal again. Who knows? I just have certain things that I like. No,
talk about High Republic. You can talk about that later. I mean, yeah, I get it, but whatever. Kevin Scott's miniseries revealed will center around Yorick, who finds herself on the outer side of the occlusion zone. 4-issue series will begin. I mean, how much you want to bet they end up putting this back into the trade paperback again, which will be horrible. Wayseeker would like to say, by the way, to the chat, he told you so. I would like the chat to say back, it's not that we didn't think that this was going to be about this. We just don't care. Like, out of all the things that came out of phase 1, Ty Yorick's story and like her chasing down a beast with like a bunny helmet, that a bunny character that was remember that, Tom? It was lame. Yeah. The story was lame.
Yeah, it was.
Wayseeker's in here. I told you guys all this. I told you that's what, and we're like, okay, and like it's not that we disagree. Like sometimes we just don't care. I don't care about this character. It's probably one of the worst characters out there. And not because the character's bad, it's because the story's bad. I mean, do you remember this story?
Yeah, the Monster Hunter.
Yeah, the Monster Hunter. That like it was something about a sister and like in nighttime of a king or something.
When it first came out, it sounded great, but then the story did suck.
Right. See, Scott's saying it. Chat's saying it. Nobody cares.
It did. And look, like I said, I'm not the biggest High Republic fan. I do like a lot of elements of it, but there were some stories that were much better than others. Much better than others.
Yeah, much better than others. I mean, Phase 1 was way better than Phase 2, by the way. But Phase 1, like this was one of the downsets of Phase 1. That and whatever the one that he was talking about, the baker that one time. All right, more details emerging regarding Star Wars Revelations appears on Afra 3.0. Is imminent and likely will be still done by Wong. We know this already. We've been talking about this for months. I don't know how this is new news. We'll introduce, what is this paragraph we're reading? We'll introduce a new bounty hunter, which will cause Afra headaches. Yeah, let's see how that works out.
Yep.
By the way, it'll probably only be 3 things, which, by the way, we have some news later on going on that we'll talk about too. They're going back to that format of Afra doing these little subset ventures. Not the whole arc is going to be an Afra thing. She'll do mini stories going through the arc, which is good. What was his favorite story ever of all time in Monsters? Is his favorite Star Wars? Yeah, I know he loves
Nubs.
Oh yeah,
absolutely loves
Nubs.
All right. Charles Soule's story will introduce the new important and very decisive. Which Wayseeker is skeptical about. Wayseeker, you can't talk about yourself in third person in the paragraph that you're writing for your news. That is, Wayseeker is important. Will be, yeah, he is. Wayseeker is skeptical. Will be important after a year. We all are. I think Charles Soule really needs to we need to, there's some times where you see the old guy in the office and you're like, thank you for your service. We'll still send you a paycheck, but maybe you just stay home till you decide to retire. I think that's where Charles Soule is at this point, right?
Well, let me ask you a question now. New stories, is this going to be leading into Return of the Jedi type of because now how much longer?
Some of the stuff will. Yeah. The Star Wars main title is going to start making it. It's still going to be in that area leading up to it. So I mean, it's going to be there for a little bit. The Thrawn stuff's going to be a little different, but we already know some of the Thrawn stuff because we know Thrawn Alliance is coming out because holy shit, we've seen all the covers for it already. There is the little Jabba instance that they're going to have with the spinoff with Lando. I'm not looking forward to it, but okay. Yeah. I like how Wayseeker includes himself in the report. Me too. He's out there kicking children, telling them Santa Claus doesn't exist, and he puts himself into this. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of the reboot we're looking for, right? How long is it going to go? We're going to talk about it later, but they're going to give us Afra back the way that it is. That's good news. Because the one part about it is, even if you go back and originally read some of that Afra stuff when she had her own series, if you didn't like the comic you picked up that week, just wait 3 months. Because it'll be a different story.
What I mean? I liked when she had the droids with her and Black K, and she was going on missions. Yeah. I like that. It just they changed it to make her go off on her own, and I have her love triangle with all these women and stuff like that. I wanted to go back where she's a badass.
Well, she had that. Hold on now. The Magna love triangle and stuff that happened during the murder droids and stuff too. So that isn't.
I know, but they really put emphasis on that in a lot of the things. Like I want to see her where she'll take something from somebody and just shoot them for the sake of doing that. Just take it and go. You know what? That doesn't care. That type of attitude, the way she was in the beginning.
I don't know if she's ever been that.
Well, she did that.
I will tell you that the part where it's the team up where she's got 50 members on her squad, that part of it, Dom, I think is horrible. That's the worst. I don't mind her doing stuff for Tag, but when she was doing stuff for Tag and she blew off the male Tag's fingers and shit like that with the rings, you know what I mean? That's okay, dude. The biggest problem was they ended up putting her as a main antagonist and character with one of your friends, Kira, which they should have never done. In all of those, the 3, once again, they do the stupid ass thing where it's 3 linking storylines for the beginning, middle, and end of the whatever the glow in the dark Iron Man fucking thing that I think we all forgot about any damn way. And like we're still dealing with that because the end of it is Dark Droids and the Spark Eternal. And the end of it's Dark Droids. And by the way, has been miserable. Miserable. So, but I mean, is it time we just is it time? The only question I have is it time we just tell Charles like
to give it up?
Just give him the watch. Give him the company watch and the pension and send him home.
He wouldn't know about Afra, I don't think. I think Afra's too manly for him. Or too athletic, I mean.
Afra's too athletic for most.
Yeah, too athletic.
She's just this short of a Sith. I mean,
and that's what I love about Afra.
She's a little bit crazy, yeah.
Crazy trick.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I think like Souls. I think probably changing up. I guess part of the thing with Wong is like I don't think Wong was set with a very tough situation, right? Because she was given the Spark Eternal, have to fly into that with War Bounty Hunter. She was given a very weird area to write Afra. Hopefully, we get to Gillian if like it doesn't work out, like just go back to him and bring him in and have Will Snidey do some of like the art or something. Like I'm down with that, but give Wong one more chance. If Wong screws up Afra after this though, and can't get that format down, because now it seems like they're going to open it up where she's not in that direction, where she does get to do those still story arcs. Cool. But for now on, like if you're not going to do that, I just don't care. Like Charles Soule introducing some helmet, like 60 comic books earlier and then going like, oh, this is the guy. And you see the guy for 2 panels and then he's dead. I mean, we know that's what's going to happen later on with the Sith. It's going to be good because we're getting at least 4 books of it. But like, let's knock that shit off. All right. Yeah, that is true. Wayseeker, Afro would destroy him. She would. What? BK? Somebody give me a picture of BK. Because if BK is going to make fun of the way people fucking look right now... if you show your face, you can make fun of the way anybody looks. If you don't show your face, you don't get to talk about how other people look. All right.
Bruce and BK are having an interesting conversation.
Let them do that. Oh,
this looks cool.
All right, there you go. All right. Star Wars Vision One Shot, but yeah, it's delayed till January 17th to February 21st, which is fine. I don't have a problem with it because at least this is another thing with Star Wars. Like they're starting this thing that's going on in Star Wars comics. It does look like we're kind of getting it's a little bit of the past, but it is a new era where we're getting new stuff that we've asked for, like this. Not fucking the Santa Staros shit that fucking Wayseeker wants, or a nub story that nobody's going to give a shit about. Like stuff that massively will appeal, and it's different genres. Like this is definitely a different genre that somehow is playing well with the Star Wars. Dom's been asking for this shit since this episode aired.
I've been asking for this too.
Look, we got the first issue.
Yes,
we got the issue that came out, the prequel. We got the book, and now we're getting another one, which is really cool. I'm really looking forward to this.
Now, if we could just get this character in live action, I'd be really happy.
Yeah.
No, we don't need it in live action. That's going to screw it up. It is. Like when they did the Inquisitors in live action, they looked like shit, and they weren't great. I don't think we're there with AI, CGI, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We're not there with it yet. For some reason, we haven't figured that one out. But I don't want... Dom's worried he's going to die tomorrow, so of course he wants everything today. But for the rest of us that aren't worried about that...
I'm kind of worried I'm going to die tomorrow too. So
well, there we go.
But then again, I'm immunocompromised. So
yeah, we do not need this, John. We definitely don't need this. But
no!
Ring the bell. Cubs and Santa's team up is a no-no. All right, but here we go. So this is good. I mean, don't worry about it. It's going to move back, but this is still the next wave of cool shit we're getting. So we've already talked about we're getting Afra back to Afra. We're getting this now, even though it got moved. Dope as shit. We'll talk about the rest in a minute.
Listen.
Oh my god.
Wait. Speaking about Nubs. When Wade doesn't seek the stand, is that Nubs was killed in a horrible death by the Sith. So he was destroyed by the Sith, and it's sad because the cute, cuddly little blue thing is destroyed by the Sith, and that's what Wayseeker doesn't want to understand.
I don't know about that.
He could have become a Sith.
Yeah,
Maybe he did.
what if Nubs becomes a Sith? It's like, hey,
Ooh.
it's
That'd
like,
be funny.
what if he's like a gremlin, right? So like he changes out. That kind of make it well. All right. Final art for Star Wars Adventure Free Comic Book Day release. Why?
First nubs.
Why?
First nubs.
We
Do we need it? No. Do we want it? No.
I hate Wayseeker. I really hate Wayseeker at this point.
No, please no. Dude, Nubs the Inquisitor.
All right, moving along. Star Wars Phantom Menace head to PlayStation Plus Premium very soon. For those people that play video games still, you want it. Of course, Ruben, you want everything though. Yeah, the blue thing does have a lightsaber. He's a Padawan.
Dude, back when I used to play the tabletop role-playing game Star Wars, there was an Ewok Jedi in those books, in the adventures for those stories.
Which ones?
The old
Legacy
Star Wars saga,
yeah.
the old Legacy stuff. There was an Ewok Jedi.
Yep.
Also in the Han Solo book, the Lando book, with first shot, last shot. There was a Ewok pilot.
Okay, cool. Hashtag Mudbutt. That's what you get. All right, there you go for the people who play it. Also, physical edition of Star Wars Heritage Pack gets a surprising release. Ooh, for the holidays. For the Switch only. But it's $60.
But look how many games you get, all 7 games.
I know, but I think if you did the downloaded thing, I think it was only like $8.99 or something.
Last year for Christmas, a year ago almost now, Steam sold like 30 Star Wars games for like $20-$30, and I bought them on my Steam account. Dude, they have all of these games here. They have like all the way back to the old X-Wing game and the TIE Fighter game back in the 90s. So I've got all of that downloaded on my computer now.
My question is, if you get this for the Switch, which controller do you use?
Right.
Like you got to get one of the classic ones. I mean, I don't know all the ones that they make, but like you have to get similar. What would you get? I mean, would you get a PS, the original PS one, if they make one like that? Anyways, all right, it's cool. They get this. It's still available. It'll probably be on sale sooner than that. That's cool, new guy. Oh yeah,
he's talking to me.
That's the HD updated KOTOR as well, better than the others. Yeah, okay, cool. The Pro controller, really, Zag? I mean, the Pro controller is fine, but dude, that's a lot for the Pro controller. It won't give you that same feel. Okay, we're gonna get into comics, and I kind of combine comics and some of the talk about what's coming up in the same thing. But spoiler alert: if you do not want this spoiled, and this is by far not only the best comic we've had out this week, but probably for a while, I would suggest you wait about 7 minutes to 10 minutes, and then we'll have the next comic up, and we'll continue talk. We also, at the end of this, have a little market report, too, featuring the Thrawn books and stuff, because it plays into the FOC. All right? High Republic Adventures #1. They restarted this. This originally was, we thought, probably one of the better full runs of High Republic era run. Can we agree to that? Like, in a trade paperback, it was because High Republic had some great stuff, but like most of its best one shots were good, but then like High Republic as a whole, the first arc, not quite the best, second arc, way better, right? All right. So from that point of view, there you go. You didn't read it? Both covers are dope. They're going to continue the theme of the left cover, too, for the next upcoming books. And they haven't released whatever the B covers are, but they're going to keep doing B covers, too. So that's good news. But also bad news, because the last time Dark Horse did this, everything got delayed, and then they start dropping books, like 4 books in 1 week. So let's hope that doesn't continue.
Yeah.
All right. Also really cool in here, and this is something that Jose's done before, and so is the artist. They give us like actual pictures here of stuff we talked about before. So the occlusion zone, they actually kind of give you a breakdown of Republic space and the occlusion zone space, kind of show you where everything is at. A year's passed since the destruction. They established the collusion zone. That's where we can see the little pink thing there. They are trying to, the Jedi's pretty much trying to get in there. Zed here, remember, she's the one that came from the planet. She was part of the hand, whatever. And they were like, oh, don't use the Force, blah, 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 blah. It was her and the other dude, Kix. She split off. She's singing, and it's all the people here that she's singing to are supposedly the ones that after a year, if you're not found and you haven't been identified as dead, you're dead. So she's like, Gias is in there. Who else? Nobody else we really care about. Oh, Loden, but we knew Loden got eaten up. The rest of the people, Aura's in there. Wayseeker likes Aura because whatever, she was a Wayseeker. But there you go. You get about 4. She's doing this whole singing. She's rocking out with the band. All of a sudden, they end up putting up Faz, who was, if you remember the original book, that was like the threesome was her. Threesome? Did I say threesome? Yeah. Her, Faz, Luna is foursome, really. And Cork. So he's supposedly gone because he's been missing for a year. And then Buckets of Blood, which we watched that last thing too, and he was supposed to be around. Maybe we think he is still alive. Both of these guys, no spoiler alerts. And then they show Lula. If you guys forget, her and Lula, a little bit of a love interest there. So she finishes singing, and then she's like, "Who the hell put them up there?" And the dude's like, "Listen, man, it's been like a year. Like they're pronounced dead after a year." Cork,
this is what we do.
Yeah, this is what we do. Cork no longer using his like little skeleton mask anymore. He's now got out. He's like, dude, chill out. Come with me. By the way, she did not miss arm day at all.
No.
She's like, blah, blah. Cork now has become like uber mature. He went from being a small little kid that wears a mask to 1 year later being like a full grown 56-year-old or something like that, giving Sage advice. So they give Sage advice. They hug it out. Then this droid comes out, and this droid talks shit. Like, there's something wrong with the droid.
I love the droid. He's hilarious. Hey, yeah, meat sacks.
Yeah, he calls them meat sacks. He does a lot of that stuff. Talks crap to him, like, I bring you gifts or whatever. Shows them all this stuff, and they're like, okay, cool. Let's go on a mission. We're going to go close to the collusion zone because there's this planet out there, and somebody is transmitting saying that they have what I'm looking for. And he's like, this isn't a smart idea. They're like, fuck it. Let's get into this plane. There goes our O-ring real quickly. All of a sudden, she gets there. So she's a Mikin. Is that how we pronounce it? Mikkin. Mikin. And the thing said, I have what the Mikins look like. She gets to this planet, and all of a sudden, there's like a bazillion Mikins there. They're like, oh shit, it's a Jedi. Which now they're calling her a Jedi, which is kind of weird too, but whatever. So she jumps down. She's like, what's up? I'm here to go mess these things up. And they're like, well, don't mess anything up. Now we get the Ooptas, or whatever their names are. Remember, those were the ones you saw. That's what the Grand Inquisitor is, and we saw them from the other one. And they're like, listen, we're peaceful, which whenever they've always been kind of peaceful, but they're like, if you mess up the dude that's in charge, we're going to mess you up. Or they say person in charge. Spoiler alert. Either way, that doesn't happen. They get wrecked. Da-da-da-da. Spears go everywhere. Ooh, spoiler alert. She gets to the top. She's got the spirit, and they're like, listen, Tarktan, you've been putting out this message. I want what you got. You better give it to me. And she like spears it in Kathunk. And then she's like, oh shit. Lula? And she's like, wait a minute, Lula? And then she starts to cry because she's got the thing. She's like, yeah, I miss you since this day you're saying this. And it turns out, there we go. Lula and her are kissing at the end. So Lula's coming back, but she's a bad guy, which doesn't make sense. I mean, very well written for those people. And I'll get this off real quickly because we can talk about, I won't. So if people, because I know a couple of people left. The Lula thing was a surprise. I don't know what you guys thought about it, but I didn't expect that to happen. I expected her to go mad a little bit and kill some people. But when I found out the big bad, because we see this big bad on multiple covers, like we see that whole mask thing and everything on multiple covers, I thought it was going to be Crix or something to that effect. I did not think it was going to be Lula. That was very well written.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Yeah, that's all we get out of that. Cool. Good conversation. All right, moving along. To a not so well written book, Star Wars number 41. Holy shit balls! Oh wait, I did this out of order. This book, by the way, there's still like 2 more weeks of Dark Droid, and as Wayseeker has said, this book does spoil the rest of it. So if you like that piece of shit crossover storyline, spoiler alert. But we didn't do it; they did it. So here we go. Luke, Lando, whatever. They're trying to find Lobot. We're going to fight all the stupid droid things that are trying to possess us. Oh, they do actually possess them somehow. They found a way to make it work where it now can inject into meat bags or humanoids or whatever. And what's his name here? Grode or whatever is like, yeah, cool. Now I can get in there and I'll have the Force. Boom. Nope. Here comes Ajax. He stabs the dude in the back, kills him. Game over. Everybody's here. All the robots are cured. Oh, there's Lobot. He's dead. Oh, by the way, I've been hiding this robot that you guys have all been looking for. Chewie, I know people are going to be good. I'm glad you were surprised. It was a good book. I know you're going to be mad, but here, let me explain this, blah, 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 blah. And I explained it to all of you, and they're like, dude, you set us all up, and we could have been taken care of. He's like, I had to do it for Lobot. Nobody cares. There, all of a sudden, he's like, Lobot, you're better. This is great. Leia comes in and goes, we're going to convict you of a crime or try you for it, and it's got the death penalty. We know Lando doesn't get the death penalty because he's in 3. Okay. So they let that one go. Here's the rest of the lineup. There still is Hounders 41, Vader 41, Afro 39 to come out. But they did preface us with another thing we've been looking for. Star Wars 42. We are going to get that Sith. This is something Charles Soule does all the time. He drops a character 20 books before. So if you recall, we've talked about this 100 times. We are all excited about this, right?
Yep.
Luke's going to go into this mind-eye thing. He's going to time travel into mind-eye thing. Some people, the Jedi Johnsons of the world, will say that because it's a vision, it's not a first appearance. It was a first appearance back in the book. I don't care what you say. That's how it goes because it appeared on the book. Okay? Here we go. We're going to at least get 2 books. I think we're going to get 3 to 4 books out of this where we're going to have this character, this Sith character, and their empire play into things, which is great because this might open us up the door to the Sith Empire, which if you know those storylines, Planet of the Sith, all that type of stuff, good stuff. Everybody I talk to is super doped about this. They've asked us. We do know a couple things for it. We've shared a decent amount of it ahead of time in the last month, but it looks like it's going to be at least a good small read for the time. It's going to be disappointing.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Next up was Dark Droid D Squad, which if you read this book last, I don't think it matters because I don't think this book matters. Here we go. As you know, KT, QT, KT after KD, droid is down, and that's R2D2's love interest, apparently. So every book's about somebody's got to have a love interest in Star Wars nowadays. So here we go. He fixed her back up, gets her going, gets a head thrown at her. Beep, 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 moop, boop, bop, moop, beep, boop, bop, bop. Hey, you guys, are you doing anything? I'm going to kill some people. And then here comes the destruction droids. So we got IG-88. We got Alpha's droids out there killing people. A little bit of Forlom doing the death thing. This is what Dom loves this because this is his boys killing stuff. So there we go. They knock out all the droids. All that KT did was yell, he, ha, he, ya, and we D is what R2D2 did, even though they should be killing a lot. And they wanted to go in as a disguise to get to Jabba's palace. That didn't make any sense at all. So they put a portion of a dead droid on him. Whatever. If this is cute, I guess it's cute. They get inside. They ran into Lando and Lobot, which, by the way, the last book we read, it's literally like this. That was 5 steps ahead of what's going on here. Actually, this book should have been out 2 weeks ago. But either way, so then they go B-Watt, beep, 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 and Lando, for some reason, can't figure out that R2-D2 is in disguise. But he kind of figures it out because the droids are saying stuff, and he's like, I don't speak that, but whatever. Okay, and then R2-D2 gets to do what he does best and just starts conking and buzzing and knocking people out. We get a little B, yeah, we get a little dot, this and that, the other thing. They end up finding out that they need to fly out to Ajax, and they tell Ajax, you got to destroy the thing. We know what happened because Ajax goes out to destroy the thing we saw in Star Wars 1. Thank God these books are over. But they're not, because next week we have the next Bounty Hunters 41, like I said. We do have Shadow of Starlight. Now, this is going to be a lot about Bell, but there is a spoiler cover. Do we think somebody's dead on the spoiler cover that we already know about, and that's why they're not showing us the cover?
Maybe.
I was trying to think what the spoiler could have possibly been that would make that big of a difference. There's not a new character that's going to show up, right?
No, maybe Laura D.
It could be. It could be one of the characters that are lost. We could get a Buckets of Blood being dead. We could get, I don't know. We could get something, but I don't know what it is. But I think it's more like a death than a first appearance, right? Is that what we're going with this?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. A death, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, death probably makes sense, right? Don't you think, Tom?
A death sounds more more likely compared to a spoiler who's on the cover. Yeah.
Yeah, death makes more sense.
Especially considering I went like 4 up to see like, because usually they'll leak out if you look at
or
Huh?
someone turning to the dark side.
That could
No,
be
it could be it. Could be it. Backstabbing and returning to the dark side. That could be it. All right. I'll left that empty over there. Okay, here we go. FOC. Well, at least we have the High Republic next week. FOC, Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is what sucks about this, right? This book sucks. People aren't ordering this book and it blows. But the 1 in 25 is kind of fucking dope.
I like it.
I just don't know. I think that's going to be hard to get, that one right there, because I don't know who's in on this. Dom, are you buying these anymore?
Actually, I just got the first read, but that's it. That was the only one I ever got. I didn't buy any more of these. I don't know. You know what's crazy? You know, you talk about that. I know that they're not the greatest books, the TV show adaptations, but those 1 in 25s and 1 in 50s, those are the way to go. If you get those, find those for a good price, buy those, because I think those are the ones that are definitely going to have the value to them down the road. Because let's put it this way: there's nothing they could do with these shows to make them better than what they were. We all know that. But there's a lot of people who do like these, that are out there, that do think that these shows are great. And as time goes on, these are canon. These are forever going to be out there. When we get the 10th anniversary, the 20th anniversary of these shows, eventually these books will definitely, the first appearances of characters will definitely have a value.
I don't know if that's true. I will tell you that it is going to be hard for the completionist collectors, and some of them don't pay attention to FOCs, and some of them don't figure out what's coming out till later because of how much money they spend on stuff, to find a 125 copy for this late in the Obi-Wan run. It's going to be tough. All right. Also, we've got Bounty Hunters. There's a 1 in 25 for Bounty Hunters 41 also. This is the end of the storyline. There's also those blank covers. I think the only reason there will be a lot of 1 in 25s on this is because people love to buy the blank covers and sell them for years later.
So there's Boba Fett on the cover. Is Boba Fett's actually
Oh, no, Boba Fett's going to be there. Yeah, actually, they have to get past Boba Fett. That's what the solicitation is. So you're right, Dom. They had this arc had Boba Fett in the first one, and they got Boba Fett in the last one. Not quite leading the whole group, but he's going to play a part in it. This is getting a hard reboot, too, so thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. 1 in 25 for the High Republic, number 3. I like the Woo. Huh?
I like it. I like it myself, too.
I hate the A cover, though. The A cover is trash, right?
What about, you don't like you like the third cover?
I love the third cover. The second cover is the 125, which looks fine. Tell me who the fuck's in the first cover. I mean, I know who it is.
Well, it looks like a overweight Laura D. That she looks a little chunky. And
same girl that's in number 2 is in number
1.
Right. Yep.
They look like they're built a little stocky.
Yeah, it's a stocky.
No,
for Bounty Hunters, it's the last in that arc, yes. Also coming out for that is the 1 in 100. You get Destro. So
when you said that before, I was looking at it and I'm like, Destro. They're like, oh, the twins.
Yeah. Well, it's only one. One's got the version, one's got the not. If you want it, order it early, I guess. Is the middle to be covered? No, the middle is the 1 in 25. That's the incentive cover. That's got what's your name on it.
How many people are buying those 1 in 100s too? I mean,
there's at least 10 different places that will buy it. So, I mean, this one, how well the other 2 have done, I bet you there's going to be a couple more on this one. The problem is, which cover are you loading up on? Because you probably ain't loading up on 1, right? Because 1 sucks. That's the problem with them doing this now with these 1 in 100s. It's one thing if you're going to give people good options with good covers, but like if you're just some random person, you're like, yeah, go ahead, pick up cover number 3. You picking up, I mean, I like the Woo thing, but I know that's not for everybody. So which cover are you going to get a new reader or somebody who's just getting to High Republic and they want to pick up 1, 2, and 3? Which cover of these, the one on the left or the one on the right, are you trying to push them onto? That's going to appeal to them. That's a big problem. I mean, I guess you got the Destro connecting cover, that you could.
I mean,
'cause that would be
I like the one because it connects to the other two from last week that we looked at.
yeah.
And he looks badass to me. But
He does.
The covers are pretty cool. I like the, if you're collecting the whole like connected cover, the entire thing to make like the whole silhouette, the whole poster. That'd be pretty cool.
Hey, Wayseeker, or hey, Wookie, we're not going to spoil it either way, but just so you know.
I haven't picked up any of these yet because I haven't had a chance. Eventually, I will go back and said I need to get. Like I know some of them. Last week we talked about the 1/100s. That the Jango Fett cover from Bounty Hunters, the Virgin cover. Those books are definitely are keeping their the value to them. They're not.
Yeah, that's what we kind of said.
down,
Like a
but-
lot of those extension connecting, it seems like they're doing a good job. Plus, the covers are dope. Like it actually looks good, and the Silverhead's gonna link it up. All right. Then they didn't give us the B cover for this, but they gave us the A cover. It's of the same design, same style. We're gonna get Star Wars High Republic Adventures #2. I will tell you this: Dark Horse has been iffy with when they are actually if their FOC is matched up with the delivery date. Hopefully this is going to get back to a regularly scheduled thing because this book is hot. And I think if they start putting Star Wars Adventures, if they don't deliver it on time within a month, you know what I mean? Like, I think we're going to have a problem. I think people are going to lose interest in the story. And it's probably the best of it right now. I like the trade dress cover better than the version. The trade dresses did look good, man. I like, if you can't get the virgins, get the trade dress because they'll link up good too. All right. That's what we got there. Oh, and here we go. Thrawn #1, the Alliance covers. We saw what the A looks like. The promo cover. We kind of went over this. The Vader one, the Anakin one. We actually mocked this up.
Yes,
you could tell the difference between the one we mocked up and the one they actually did. Shout out Pete for mocking that up really good. It is what it is. Do I wish this was a Virginist incentive? Well, if you do, I think it is. So it doesn't matter. No, it's not. They went with the other one. But like, I don't know. I think if they would just put why do they have to put the UPC code on the front?
Right.
You could put it in the back. They could have put it in the back of the book.
But for those people that don't know, this is actually it's one of the covers for the books. Like it's the dust jacket. There's also a piece of promo art that they put on the inside. It's cool. I like that because if you like, they do have a 1/100, and here it is. The Clark version of 1/100. If you like that 1/100, I have a feeling that there's going to be. I mean, these covers are all pretty good. The 25's okay. The promo's good. I'm not a huge fan of the A cover, but you can get like the Alliance other version, the trade dress for it. If you like the 1/100, it is a #1. There should be a couple of them out there. But I did want to look at some of these books, considering the Thrawn's coming out, and see what Thrawn kind of held and what the other ones look like. So we're going to cover that real quickly. It'll be brief for those people that do care or don't. And the last one we're going to look at is the 1/100 pre-sales, because that's something Dom already brought up. Yeah, they should do that. They should minimize it. Okay, so this book, I was actually surprised. This is the regular cover for Thrawn 1. Now, they're coming out with the line series. We're FOCing it right now, so in a month it will be out. But this one, 9/6s were selling for $69.99 and $39.99 in the last two. 9/8, the last 9/8 to sell was $114. And available as a $149 for a 9/8 OBO. This is expensive for a one, don't you think? Like, there's multiple covers of this book. Yeah. And they weren't exactly hard to find.
You know why? This cover looks pretty cool because you have the clone troopers on the cover.
Maybe
a lot of people like that. The old clone troopers, and and it's a different look of Thrawn too. He has long hair in the cover.
I just thought when I was looking it up that we'd see like $80 9/8s, not 114 as the last one, and them sitting around 120.
Well, the prices are probably going up a little bit because knowing that the second series is coming out soon. So maybe. Spike.
I mean, you saw it did. Looking at some of the numbers, it did look like it was going down a little bit after the TV show, and then coming back up a little bit. This one is the 1/15 variant. They call it the animation variant. Raw sold. Last Raw was $41. Available Raws are $55, or there's an auction for $22. It had 20 hours left when I did this. We can check on it a little bit. I will tell you something about this one. The next one, I had to do average sale. There was 14 fucking sales from the same seller over a 30-day period. and they all went to auction. I'm just going to leave that there. These are all their sales. The high was 166, the low was 109.26, and the low 109.26 was not the last. There was an auction that ended today, and I think it ended in the $130 range. Available 9/8 is 150. That same dealer has a auction going on with 3 days left, and there's one of these animations up for 45. Now, he either bought every Thrawn 1 in 15 variant, which is very possible, and all the 9/8, and is now selling them. So if you're interested in that, make sure you go online. You can follow it. Apparently, this guy's got a ton of them because, like I said, 14, that's going to be 15 there. Or let us know if you bought it when you get it shipped to you, please. All right. Next up was one of the other books. You love these. This is the Christopher action figure. Mm-hmm.
I have this one too.
There's one for 150 available. The 9/8 for this book too, in the 1-teens. I don't understand it, but that's what you get. It's 119, 107.50, and 114.26. I think 109.19 was the last sale on this one. Yeah, I hate those two. And then here comes the big dog. The 1 in 50, the Matina cover. There's a raw available for the last raw sale was $400. There's the only raw available I saw out there was for $1,222.22. There's a 9.6. The last 9.6 sold for $1,100. The fuck out of here. And 9/8s are still like they're around that $2,000 mark. So one sold for 1,825. That was the last 2,000 and 2,085. I actually think the 2,085 was in between them. Those were the last 3 sales on 9/8s. Available 9/8. Now I'm just gonna let you know, and I don't care about the hate I'm gonna get for it. There's a CBCS for $2,000, but a CGC for $2,100. Either way, this book is still
up there.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Heir to the Empire compared to this, like this book is still there, man.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, please do.
Now, do you think that this would have been even higher if it was a Virtue cover?
No. I mean, this was the highest ratio for it. It was it 1 in 50 or was it 125? I can't remember.
150.
150. Yeah, it was a 1 in 50. This was the highest ratio there was for it. So I think that gives it to it. Also, like the UPC code doesn't kind of mess it up, and they put the trade dress so high that you get the majority of the picture anyways.
Yeah.
So, do you think the second series is going to have a book? I know they have the 1 in 100 version. I know that. But do you think the 1 in 25 in the next series is going to top the 1 in 100?
No.
Do
you think it's going to top this book? You mean 1 in 50?
No, this book. No, in the second series, because is there a book that's going to be related? Like,
that's what we're going to get to next. Yeah, I mean, okay. I don't think so as much. I think the 125s there, you're going to have a bigger option because I think people are ordering the 1 in 100s. Because that's the next book I actually did. I typically don't do this, but I decided to go through the last 2 sales for Raw. Now there's some funny stuff when you look at stuff because you can't always take eBay sales because sometimes there's really large sales, but there's like reasons why. Like people will pay the exact amount it'll cost to pretty much buy the whole set. Like they'll buy a 1 in 100 for roughly around the cost that costs a dealer. The dealer will throw $50 extra on it or $25 extra on it and then ship it out to you, and you have to pay shipping costs too. And you pay for the whole thing. So there's some big numbers around it. But the numbers that I saw that were actually just for the single book for the Raw that have already sold in the last day or two is there's a $149.95 sale and then a $188.10 that was into auction. The next available is starting to get up to the $200 mark, which the 150 is something you see. Pre-FOC auctioning off books to try to get to $200 for a pre-sale is pretty high. I think if this book gets up to like the $300 mark, $250, well, be honest with you, $250 pre-sale, you might have something of a winner on it. I will say though, there's going to be a lot of the 1 in 25s because if this is already selling like this week, going into this week, I'm not talking today, previous today for $188, the next book's going to sell for $200. Like that just is what it is. It's going to sell for $200, especially getting on the FOC list today.
Do you think that the sales of this book are going to reflect on the Matina book? Is going to make the value go up in that book more now because knowing that these books are coming out?
I was looking at it like that. That's originally how I did it. I'm not quite sure. I think you might get some of the lower end sale books, like that 1 in 15. You might see,
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of volume moving over the last 30 days, which is interesting because there's more over the last 30 days, more of that book moved than moved during his appearance on Ahsoka.
Mm.
So I don't know if it's just because they're going to auction or if it's like people are going like, oh yeah, I remember those books. Oh, I also love the animation one. You know, when they're looking up that the Thrawn gets too big. But that's why I was saying like the price of that number one should be an $80.98 in this market. It should literally be an $80.98. It's in the $100 range for some reason. Is it because this series? Yeah, I think it does. I think that's good to see that this series is reminding people of those Thrawn books, so they're probably going back to collect them now.
But you know,
And thank
regardless
God
of
they
fact,
waited till now instead of collecting them during the freaking pandemic.
you know, regardless of fact, on the Lester of Ahsoka, you know, the ending, you know, the Thrawn really, a lot of people like Thrawn. They made fun of him because he was a little overweight, but they did like uh, the way Thrawn was, and
Yeah.
knowing that, because now, if you notice, people were complaining the way he was on screen. But this is not Thrawn. A lot of people say, but you got to understand one thing: he got exiled for 10 years. He has been out there in the unknown regions for 10 years. God knows what hell he's seen, what was going on. You know, he wound up teaming up with witches. So there's a lot of shit that he may not be the same person, but come out when they bring him back, you're going to see the Thrawn that people want.
We hope.
We
But
hope.
I think this is one thing about Thrawn, excluding like the animated series, which was pretty good. Like the best Thrawn is the written version of Thrawn.
Yeah.
So like because that's Thrawn's creators writing them. So like that's kind of what we're seeing here. And his popularity, I mean, his popularity is that big during that portion of time. So it does look like there is a direct. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like some of these like some of these books, this group that we're going in, this is starting the next generation after our Revelation stuff, and it's what we've been asking for, and they're finally actually giving it to us. We're getting a Thrawn series, and it looks like is contributing some of the sales of the original Thrawn series. Same thing with like the High Republic Adventure. It's doing well. Like it is something they went back. You know, they really made it lame, and they kind of made it like goofy and whatever else they were doing with that whole situation. It was hard to read. They didn't put them out in the right time. Now they're bringing out, I mean, that High Republic Adventure story we reviewed, as you saw from people in the chat that actually read it, that was one of the best things we've read in a long time. You know what I mean? So they are kind of giving us what we want. They're giving us Afro back. So we should see. I wonder, I guess my question is kind of like yours too, Dom. It does look like we're getting a little bit motion. Now, are we going to get $4,000, $4,500 anymore for the Matina 9.8? No, we're never getting that again. But to keep it around a $1,500 to $2,000 book, I think that seems realistic. And by the way, for these books coming out here to reintroduce the characters again, to remind them, it does seem like there is some selling going on because of that and because of the good writing. And if Afra comes out good, that's probably if you have the Afra books, I would assume that if Afra comes good again, it gets people more interested to it. So there you go for that, because then you could get full-time collectors for it. All right. And yeah, Wookie's right. There's no way they're touching that book over there. It's just not going to.
Not at all. That was incredibly a huge amount.
The 2000 or the 4?
The 2000.
Yeah,
either one.
2000. Yeah, you're not really.
Well, you know, I'll tell you what. I know it's out of reach of some people because $2,000. People don't have $2,000 to just drop on a book.
Yeah.
That 1 in 100 of the virgin cover, that might, you know, it could reach a $500 mark.
I would be surprised. I think the height for this book. Are you asking me what the height for this book is?
Yeah,
$300 is the height,
$300?
and that's putting it out there. That might be like one sale for $300. It would be like the $300 sale would. Well, I would generally say the $300 sale would be on the Wednesday of the book coming release, but that's not how it works anymore. Now we'd have to look at the second week because a lot of these 1 in 100s, you see a height like halfway through the second week, and then you see them start trickling back down for a little bit and then gaining back up speeds. But I really do see this book being in the, like, out the gate, I see this book being in the $200, $215 range. Like, I'd be surprised if it doesn't. If it doesn't, then, I mean, like, but that's not that far off from 188.
And also that virgin book look a nice cover to get autographed too, if you really think about it.
People actually really like this artist too. Like people really are liking Clark's Star Wars stuff. People really ooh and ah over it. So, all right. Next up, we have got. Go ahead. Did you say have something? I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right. Next up, we have got a toy report that we've been sworn was going to happen months in advance, but it hasn't. This is Dom's Transformer toy Star Wars account. Thank you to Thade also because they helped put this together. Here we go. First up is go ahead.
No, I'm saying first up is Ahsoka, which, hey, look, if you love Transformers, you get a crossover. Transformers and Star Wars, two great companies, two great IPs, and you put them together and you get something. It may not be attractive, but it's pretty cool.
Dude, the face sculpts on all these, when I saw these, I was like, holy shit, they're bad.
So they are bad, but it's kind of cool in a way because you get the little figure that comes along with it. So it's like,
there's little mini figures.
It's like the little the micro machine type of figure that fit. So this is Ahsoka. So
$20 isn't bad.
$20 is not bad, but try and find it for $20.
Yeah,
that's the thing. The Ahsoka is pretty. It's not easy to find. They had a couple on eBay. You know, if you could find one on the outside market. This one you don't see that much. I've seen other ones, but the Ahsoka is the one that's pretty hard to find. But
yeah, she's a popular character.
And look, and see now somebody got it for $20. They got to steal because basically.
Well, that's what they're saying the average was. So there had to be some that were above it, some that were below it.
It's like between $80 and $90, depending on some places. But mint and package, definitely a lot more. If you really think about it.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got Clone Commander Cody in the turbo tank. Why is he a turbo tank?
Yeah, he's a turbo because he was the tank. The tank transport, which I actually think this is the best looking one. If you really think about it.
Oh yeah, it did. And the robot comes out looking well too, not kind of goony like the rest of them.
Exactly, because the legs, it looks like there's substance in the legs, so the legs aren't skinny.
Yeah.
And if you want to play Transformers and have this part of the Transformer, this would actually fit pretty cool. I actually like this one.
Yeah, it would work great.
And what was the average sale that you've seen on the? I can't because I know Dark Side.
It was like 20. I think it was like 28.
28, yeah. You see what happens. They call Transformers. They're called the Transformers.
Yeah.
They put Transformers because they didn't want to confuse it with Transformers.
Yeah.
But the Water meets the eye. So, but hey, listen, I wish they would do a crossover. It'd be pretty cool to do like a what if crossover comic book with them. But so we were saying that this is the best looking one. The Cody came out the best looking out of all the Transformers as the tank. I can't hear you.
Sorry. So it's the best sculpt of the character, but it's also like the dumbest like transformer, right? Like it transforms into the transport truck, which is dumb. But as you can see in the picture, I don't know if you mentioned, but those are what the minifigures look like that are inside, and each one's of the
pretty cool.
super pass. He's super passing on this. All right.
Okay.
This is the one I think Dom's saying not to pass on.
Yeah, Darth Maul. Yeah. The legs, like I said, the packaging looks cool. So there's two sets of packaging. You have a red package and you have a blue package that actually came out. And I believe the blues are a little bit more money. The blues, the first run.
Was that the Japanese run or something like that?
No, it was actually a regular run. It came out.
It looked like they had a print on them that was Japanese, I thought, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, what happened was they came out, the first one that came out, they didn't put that many out. Okay. And it actually, this became a success. People love this. For some reason, these really hit home.
So I should have bought the blue packaged ones? Son of a...
The blue packaged ones. The little ones that are actually... Yeah.
Yeah.
Because these are the reissued packages. The different packages.
So I've been a little bit under the weather, but I actually had... But there was two different types. So there was one where Darth Vader... Maybe we should get into this, but there's a blue package one where Darth Vader isn't. We'll talk about later when Darth Vader's here, but he turns into his. Or no, that's an orange package. Okay.
Yeah. So they have so Darth Vader is actually when you get to it, you see they'll show it.
Yeah. So this is small though.
Well, and like I said, average sale is $32.50.
Okay.
But find them for $32.50.
Yeah, I mean you gotta do your due diligence.
It's about the going on. This is between $50 and $60 at the moment.
See,
right now.
But this is Dom. This is what I'm gonna tell you because the Darth Vader. It was Darth Vader and somebody else. I can't remember who. Maybe the Obi-Wan. I almost bought both of them at a show this weekend for $32. Now it was through a dealer friend, so he had them. They're priced at like I think $26 a piece or whatever. But so you can find these for
you have to look.
There's
that many people like if you go to like toy dealers and the shows.
Oh, if you go to toy dealer shows, you ain't getting it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There we go. Now you know what the funny thing is. I actually don't have this. I've been trying to get one. I've been trying to find one.
Wow.
Is as cheesy as it looks, it stays in the package. I would not open it.
Yeah.
It would stay like it looks better.
Well, I mean, as Slave 1, it looks great. As Boba Fett, it's kind of horrible.
Yeah, I was hoping when I saw it, when he had told me, is for those people that are, Brad, we've talked about him before on this channel. When Brad's like, hey man, I got some new Star Wars stuff. I got a couple of Transformers, and I was like, holy shit, we're doing a show on Transformers. And I was like, I'll take them. You got Boba? And he's like, no. And I was like, damn, dude. And then he's like, I forgot to tell him he's hitting me up because he got a bunch of RoboForce in, and my love for RoboForce. So
they also have a Jango Fett too.
Yeah, I saw the Jango Fett. The Jango Fett looks better, dude. I'll be honest.
It does. The colors on the Jango Fett. So remember, if you collect Fett, there's 2 Fetts, there's 2 Jangos, 2 different packaging. So the average on this package is $38. The blue package is actually about $60-70.
Whew. Good night.
Yep.
I'm just trying to pull up with the. Oh yeah, so the blue packaging.
Yeah.
Huh.
The blue and white packaging.
Yeah. 2 Vader. I'm just trying. We should have compared. You should have told me I would have got the comparison.
You know what? I was thinking about doing that, but
yeah, I would have put up the comparisons if you'd said something.
Yeah, no,
It's all right. Maybe next week we'll do blue packaging. All right.
We'll do, definitely.
So if you see this for $40, tell Dom so that he can get it.
I can get it.
All right.
So
yeah, this is the one. So this is what I saw was Obi. I was like, oh, like when he's like, I was like, Obi, like, ugh. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
It's the packaging that makes it look better. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You need something to make this look better.
So when these came out, they came out and they put them out. If they were to do these today, I think the product would be much better because what they do with Transformers today is unreal. Like everything is looking closer to the G1 cartoon. Exactly. They don't look. The original toys look like this when you bought them. Now they're fully posable. All right, they're plastic. They're not as metal as they were, but yeah, the Obi-Wan. It's not attractive, but those people who complete their Transformer runs, Star Wars and Marvel had Transformers.
So hold on. So was the blue packaging? The blue packaging was like, they made 3 of Obi. So the blue packaging was the second version of it. So they probably made a shorter run on it than the first version.
Yeah.
The first version is the red packaging.
Yep.
Yeah, they all look like shit. But
they all look like shit. The packaging
is that probably what surprised them is like how bad they looked, and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna fuck off with this, and then they're like, oh wow, they sold.
Okay, aside, these when they came out, people were buying these up.
Yeah.
They were hard to find. Come on, you put like I said, you put the 2 items together that people like Transformers and Star Wars.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Some of them are really dope. So this isn't the one that I saw. I saw the other one, the second version of which is him as a TIE fighter, as an Imperial.
This is not bad looking because the way the figure he looks bulky. That he has he's not, the legs aren't skinny like the other ones. This is pretty cool. Yeah, so the average price is $60. Find it for $60.
How much do you think it goes for?
Dude, I saw one for $100. It's kind of a more square packaging. It doesn't have that slope at the side, but it was like
Yep.
120, something like that.
Yeah. Look, John says it. Hang on, this one's kind of cool. The Darth Vader one, this one's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having the Death Star just on your shelf, knowing that it transforms to Darth Vader.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one in the Death Star. I saw the other one. There's a blue version and a gray version of him as a ship, which is cheaper than these.
Which
Holy
is
shit.
him as his TIE fighter, his Vader's
Yeah,
TIE
it's TIE
fighter.
Fighter. Yeah.
$60 though. That's a pretty solid. Whoever got that one got a pretty dude. All right. The one nobody cares about.
Well,
Luke
you know
looks
what?
horrible.
It looks horrible, but I like the just the cover art. Look at the way he looks in the cover art.
Yeah.
Better than the actual toy.
Yeah, the X-Wing
You know?
looks kind of dope, but like the toy and as a Transformer it looks dope, but like I don't know, dude. $35? I don't think I'm paying $35 for this, Luke. I'd pay $60 for this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But $35 for this. And honestly, like I wouldn't pay the $40 for Boba, but I would pay $35 for the Django because the Django Slave 1 too, but it looks way better. Oh, sorry. So $35 for this. Last sale was December 4th.
Actually, you know what's pretty cool? I like the figures, the little figures that go in the ship.
The minifigs, yeah.
The minifigs, yeah.
Yeah, back to sucking, he says.
Yes, exactly.
Well, another thing too, when it comes to these figures, those figures match up with the other Transformers. Just think about it. You could actually, if you're doing something and actually have a little like play thing going on with the Transformers, and you can have the little figures interact with the, because you can open up and put them in the ships, the other Transformers.
Dom, I think you should definitely do that and stay away from all the like clickbait toxic sites you look at. Instead, take the figures and play with each other. You'll be a much happier man. All right. Oh shit! Except for if you're playing with this one. What the hell? Grumbling here. What the shit is this?
Oh look at it this way. Yoda is kind of hard to make because he's a short character. But I watched a video on somebody putting together Yoda. It's not easy, man. The Yoda one was pretty difficult. Pieces kept falling off every time he was trying to like transform it.
Yeah.
And
they really hated Yoda because like there's no way people were buying this thing.
That looks less like Yoda, more like a gremlin.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. That's fucking horrible. It looks like a Lego gremlin too.
Even the cover art. You see, this is the cover art.
It's like shit on the cover art.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But
well, $40 though.
$40, but I've seen this anywhere from $70 to $80.
People asking 70, 80, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like that's also too, Dom. I think even in toys we've seen this too. The market when they were asking and getting $70, $80 was a year ago. And they have to start lowering their stuff too. So to see some of these, like when the newest sales are coming out, and you're getting around $40 for these, like just know to wait on, and that might be where they start sticking at. Is like, fuck. Except for this one, fuck. This will possess your children, dude. This one is scary as shit. Oh, this is a good one.
Grievous looks good.
Yes, the Grievous looks good because he transforms into his it's like rolling a tank.
Yeah,
tank that
he actually looks good too.
And because his limbs are usually skinny anyway, if you really think about
it.
Yeah.
$29, still a little high, but shit. That looks cool. I've seen that one before.
About $50. I've seen this one before.
I've seen this. I saw this a year ago for about $40. Yeah, I didn't buy it for that, but
Kit Fisto.
Kit doesn't look bad.
No, it doesn't look bad.
Could look worse.
But like these are the characters that are a little obscure if you really think about it. Yes, we know them in the Star Wars universe, but in Transformer wise and toy wise, how many figures do they actually make of this? That $18 is very deceiving if you really think about it.
It's cheap for this, yeah.
$18. It's cheap, but try and find it for 18. But I don't think because the runs on these are probably shorter than the main characters that they put out.
Well, once again, I think sometimes too, Dom, you're stuck in what was a year ago's prices compared to what was December 5th, 2023 prices. You know what I mean?
But I think that they were a little obsessed with a Jedi Starfighter because Ahsoka turns into it. This guy turns into it.
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Starfighter is a dope figure. I mean, it's a dope like ship looking
Well, they have an
thing,
Anakin one too. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean they've got one Stacey Teen too, but I mean it's a dope shape. It looks cool, but like they were a little too obsessed with like everybody turning into the Jedi Starfighter, man.
Yeah, Obi-Wan had a Star one. Jesus, you're right.
Just think if they made these now. You have the Mandalorian, you have all the newer characters they put out ship-wise,
That would be cool.
and they can
Who
update them and
has-
make them look better. You know,
Who does Dark Series? It's Hasbro. They could still do it. They could do the
Yeah.
crossovers.
they could. It's just Disney. Does Disney want to interact?
Hell
This
yeah,
was
they do because
before-
they want money, dude. Are you kidding me?
Dude,
Just-
Disney
Dom,
interacts with HasLabs all the
If
time.
you exchange everything that you're saying and just say Disney wants money, in your mindset, Disney wants money, a lot of things that confuses you on how shit works will stop confusing you. Because if you're like, they did this, why do they do this? Because they want money. Because they want money. Because they want money.
Disney likes money.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Black
Money.
Spider? Yeah, that's it.
Well, you know what? If they do, hopefully they update them. All right, the next one is
Yeah, having them
Cad
come
Bane.
back out in like a retro line would be cool instead of Black Series bullshit. This is by far, it's between this and Obi-Wan as the ugliest face sculpts.
I know.
Yeah.
Where's his hat? Where's his Cad Bane's hat? You know, I don't know.
Maybe that's what it is. It just looks
Yeah.
terrible in itself. Oh
His
wait, is the
attitude,
Dark Side
yeah.
logo covering up the shit? We got to.
Yeah, the prize. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, hold on. Let me see what I can do with this. All right. Let's get down. There we go. So November 23rd. A lot of these don't sell. The last one sold for about $30.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Xanadu blood. I don't know, man. I wish they would redo them. I wish they'd also make them partially out of metal, but whatever.
I wish they'd do them like the old. I'd like it if they do them in the old
better.
G1 style with the metal, but
Yeah,
that's probably never gonna come back.
Would you pay? But if you do that, would you pay like $100 per?
It depends
That's
on
what
how
it costs you.
If the sculpts were good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's really what it costs. I think, right? Metal,
Yeah.
like partial metal, $100 sculpts.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be something cool, like because HasLabs does a lot of Star Wars stuff. It'd be cool if HasLabs would work on something like this. Like,
here's the problem with
Transformers.
HasLab, though. They don't do shit like this. They do stuff that people don't fucking want, and it fails all the time.
Well,
Yeah.
you see, they came out. They also
Well, not
did a
all the
Marvel
time, but a lot of the time.
You see, with these, they came out with Marvel too. They had all the Marvel characters.
Yeah.
Cars transform into like Venom and
Yeah.
Spider-Man and stuff like that. Kids like transforming things. Kids like transforming toys.
Yeah.
That's why Transformers is such
Adults love transforming toys.
Yeah. True.
So, like, I mean,
Just give me Soundwave.
Yeah, I like it too. All right, so that was the first thing of it. I think pretty good, you guys. This is good. I think we're going to bring another one back next week. Next week too, we're going to have Wayseeker. That's most of the stuff we do this, but I do want to try this one out. So we're going to play a little game, and while we do it, I'm going to open up. Do I have a pack to open up, or did I open up all my packs? Let's see what we got here. If we got something to open up. I think I opened up all the packs. I haven't bought any more, so we can't open any more packs. But what we were doing this weekend, and if you guys want to, we can, is like you rank. The fuck is that? All right, you rank. This place is still tore up from the thing. You rank Star Wars characters for your opinion. So, for example, all right, out of Leia, Luke, and Han, the top three, right? The trinity of them. Who do you have at the number 3 spot? You get where I'm going with this? So you got Luke, Leia, and Han. Who do you have at the number 3 spot? Dom, who you got at 3?
I have
Chat, you can participate too.
I have Han at 3.
Oh, you're trash. Okay. Who do you have? Hey, who do you have at 3?
Leia.
Ooh, really? Who do you have at number 2, Thade?
Luke.
Dom?
Leia.
You guys could just give us your 3 in order. Leia 3, Luke 3, Leia 3, Leia. Imperial Cadets got Leia at 3. A lot of Leia's at 3. I think that's underrated. You got Leia at 2. So that means you got
I have Luke, Leia, Han. That's my
Luke, Leia, Han. Who do you got, Thade?
I'm
doesn't count.
Han.
She's a sidekick.
I'm Han, Luke, Leia.
Han, Luke, Leia? I am Han, Leia, Luke. Because if you think about the Leia character without the Leia character, a lot of stuff was done really well. It wasn't all her fault because she did get some guidance on it, but like how she played Leia throughout was dope. Like in the original trilogy. If it wasn't for her, like she didn't whine a lot. She was very gung ho in the beginning. The relationship that she had, like it's creepy when Luke is like pining over her, but not from the Leia aspect of it. It's kind of like creepy because he's pining over it, and she had more to do with it. All right, so here we go.
I have a
Luke
friend
won.
who just watched the original trilogy for the first time, and he watched them slowly, like he did one a week, and
Yeah.
he was making comments about Luke and Leia getting together, and then when Return of the Jedi came around, he was like, "Oh my god, I no, oh god."
Dude, Wookie, I got you on the same one. This is my lineup. This was mine. My buddy's lineup was Han, Luke, Leia. Yeah. Yeah, Han, Leia, Luke. I like it, Josh. That's mine too. I like that. All right. So then the next one we have is name your sidekick characters. That includes Chewbacca from the original 3. So you can do any of them. For example, mine went as followed: Chewbacca, Lando, and then it was Chewbacca, Lando, and then who was my third? Because we did like minor characters after that. Chewbacca, Lando. We start doing 5. Who else would you put in that list?
3PO?
Sidekicks. Huh?
3PO?
Yeah, and the droids. Yeah. R2, probably. So I'd probably do R2 first. I got R2, Chewie. No, I don't think I do, man. I don't know. I'm going to have to take a second with that one. What do you got on it, Dom? What are your 3? Put those in order.
Definitely go with Chewie as number 1.
Okay.
Definitely R2 at 2 and 3PO at 3.
Ooh. Ruben's got R2, Chewie, and Lando. Chewie, R2, and Lando. What do you got, Dave?
Chewie, R2, Lando. Sounds about right.
It's tough between R2 and Chewie, isn't it? Because like R2 is like one of the most important characters in Star Wars. Like when you think about it, because he's there for all of it.
I know he's there, and also Chewie. Chewie's important too, and R2 and 3PO. They're all.
Hey Joe, we'll do those next. We'll do Bib because we actually did a Jabba's Palace thing. We did a Jabba's Palace thing too because we did bounty hunters.
We have to do a prequel one too eventually.
Yeah, we will. We'll get to that. I think I have to go R2, Chewie, and then Lando. Now we're gonna go to Jabba's Palace, and in Jabba's Palace, there's one scene where we get bounty hunters. So you get to choose all the bounty hunters you want, but give us your top 3 bounty hunters from Jabba's Palace. That includes Boba Fett, Bosk. We get
and Dengar.
Dengar, and 88.
IG-88 and Forlom. Or Zuckuss and Forlom.
We get both. You get all.
Okay.
So, Dom, we know you get Boba Fett too. By the way, did we say Boba Fett? You get
yeah.
Dom, biggest non-spoiler alert all. Give us top 3 bounty hunters from Jango's Palace or from Jabba's Palace in order. Yeah.
Of course. Boba Fett, Bosk, and Dengar.
Bosk and Dengar. Aid?
Fett, Bosk, and Dengar. Actually, no. Hold on. Okay. Fett, Bosk, IG-88, not Dengar.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right. So, me and this guy have similar opinions. We actually did 5 of them, but we both are very big Bosk fan. That's our favorite bounty hunter. Like he actually has a plan that he has an original art piece plan. By the way, I told him not to do it because the last one he did was for Archie's and like 80 people redid the exact same thing he did. But like, it's awesome. I hope we get it. If we do, we'll share it with you all. But Bosk is number 1 by far. Bosk is the best. Then after Bosk, I would have to go with Boba. I'd say Boba probably number 2, just because of that scene. Boba number 2. Then number 3 might be one that might, and it's only because how they've written him since which would be a Zuckuss situation. I don't know why, but Zuckuss over the one thing Star Wars hasn't screwed up is Zuckuss over the last little bit. So I have to go Bosk, Bubba, and Zuckuss. We're not doing that. Bosk, Boba, and IG-88. All right, I give it to you. IG-8, Boba Fett, and Bosk. Boba, IG-88, and Bosk. It's a lot of them besides Joe. I just don't like that dude. I think he's terrible.
It's funny. Since the book came out, a certain point of view, and Jabba's palace with Boba Fett, the Dangar had a part telling Boba Fett, be careful, you can go south at any time. And Boba Fett didn't want to believe that it would go south, and then he fell into the Sarlacc. So Dangar actually did tell Boba eventually it goes south in the story.
Cool.
So
whatever. Okay, now the last one we're going to do today, and it's going to be a little bit out there, is minor characters for Star Wars. And this could be anything from Wicket all the way to Max Rebo, all the way to anybody you want to think. Nib Nub was mentioned at one point during this situation. Akbar, all those characters. So it's top 5, like minor ass characters, right? I'll give you guys all a minute to write it down. I've given you guys a couple right off the bat. You could go, I guess C-3PO got thrown out. We were going to do a droids ones, but we're not. You could use the torture droid in the basement as a random one. You could use Jawas as a random figure. Tusken Raiders still contributed. We only count it as one, not a whole tribe. All those type of things.
And this is from the original trilogy, right?
Original trilogy, yep. Okay. All right. Yeah, you got to get a list to pick from, John. All right. I mean, there's... you could do the Gameskeeper, the guy that the Rancor trainer was one of them that got brought up. Who else got brought up? Oh, Dr. What's his name? The guy that's in the original one that says
Istaven.
Yeah.
Ponda Baba.
Yeah. Ponda Baba. You could do that. Wolfman was in there. You could do that too. Who else was being mentioned during these things? There's a whole list. Yak Face was there. All right, he got 2. But you use Doctor as 2 different people? All right, Dom, do you have a lineup, maybe a 5? Can you do 5?
Yeah. Well, I actually have Hammerhead.
Ooh, Hammerhead.
From the Cantina.
Okay.
Because there was another favorite character of mine growing up. Also, Commander Priet from the original trilogy. Him.
Yeah.
Definitely... who else?
George Jetson was not one of Black Spiders.
Well, actually, Uncle Owen.
Uncle Owen. All right, give it 3.
And Aunt Beru.
So
Aunt Beru.
Is that a combo or is that just one person?
Can it be combo? Can be
combo. We'll give you combo.
Okay. Oh, they got 2
more. All right,
so
now you come down to your last 2.
My last 2.
So they gotta be heaters.
You know what? I would definitely take the Rancor Keeper, definitely the Rancor Keeper.
There he is.
Yeah, you put him in there. And I know Ula, the slave girl.
Singer. Oh, Ula the singer. Porkins. Pork. Hey, listen, that Porkins toy is tough to get to.
Wait a minute. You talking about the singer with the long snout thing?
Yeah.
No. No. Oh, no. Ula, the slave girl, the one.
The dancer. The dancer. Oh, of course. You could take that. Yeah. Well, I'm surprised you don't rank Leia higher because of her in the slave costume. All right.
That's true. Hey.
All right. What do you got there? We've got some good ones. Just the fat Porkins, just the fat. Oh, come on.
Twilight.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. What do we got, Dave?
Okay. So for number 1, I'm going to go Yoda.
That's a good one.
Because in the OT, he's a minor character.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was one other way we were going to do it, which was like force O people, which would be you got to rank Yoda, Vader, and whatever. But it's all right. Go for it.
Second, I would have to say Wedge Antilles.
Wedge?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Wookiee did the same thing with Wedge. You got it. Wedge. Okay, cool.
Third, Moff Jar Jar from the second Death Star.
Okay.
4, Cy Snoodles, the singer, the long snouted singer chick.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna also agree with Dom, Ula.
Okay. All right. Wookiee's got Wedge, Tuskens, Tarkin, Greedo, and Ula. There's a couple there that we're going to have a repeat here. Wedge, Jet Porkins, Ewoks, Yoda, and the ATT General, the Wampa. Okay. Yeah, good job, Airboy. Airboy's just putting him in one out long. He's getting them all down here. So,
but is the Whopper a character too?
It's a main character. It's a minor character.
Yeah,
it's only in there for a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean you can get it. So mine go Wicket because that's my fifth pick because I just like the actor and I really like Wicket growing up. I don't care what people say about Ewoks. I think it's amazing. Nib Nub is number 4 because he's Nib Nub and that's just fun to say. I have got the trainer too, the Rancor trainer at 3.
Okay.
I have Tarkin as number 2. Please, Tarkin as number 2. And number 1 overall, of course, the greatest character of Star Wars, Max Rebo, playing the red bell organ with his feet. Easy. Uncle Owen, get out of here.
I would have said Uncle Owen, but he's a prick.
Akbar's a good one, Airboy. Akbar was on there. All right, so we've already kind of ruined it, but last but not least, okay? Force Ghosts. That would include Yoda. And we're talking about the new redone version. So you get Vader / Anakin. There's only 3 that you're choosing here. You get Vader / Anakin, right? You get Yoda. You get Obi. Shoot, we could do them all because there's only 4, right? And then you get Qui-Gon, right? Those are our ghosts, correct?
And you have Luke too.
Luke's not a ghost.
Not
Luke
yet.
is a ghost.
Originally. He doesn't ghost yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
All right, so there's our 4 ghosts. Our ghosts again are Yoda, Vader / we're doing Anakin. We're not gonna call him Anakin, but he's Anakin Vader. Okay. Obi and Qui-Gon Jinn. Who wants to go first on this one?
Can I go first?
Go ahead. Give it to us.
Obi-Wan.
Is he your number
Anakin.
1 or is he your 5?
My number 1.
Okay,
Obi-Wan.
number 1's Obi. Okay.
Obi-Wan, Anakin, and then Yoda.
Yoda? Wait, what?
Yoda's been a Force Ghost more than Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon just became a Force Ghost.
Oh, is he your 5 or is he your 1? Is Yoda your favorite Force Ghost? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay. So you did it perfect. You did it like I do. Countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So go with them again. So in the 5 spot is who, Dom?
Oh, you do it in the 5. Oh, I
or 4. I mean, yeah, 4. Okay, 4. Give me 4.
Right,
Who's
so,
yours?
All right. So my the 4th one happens to be Qui-Gon. Then,
okay.
Qui-Gon,
cool. Fair. And then who do you got in 3?
3 is Yoda.
Okay.
3 is Yoda.
I can't believe you have 3 is Yoda.
Anakin is number 2, and Obi-Wan is number 1.
All right. Thade, what do you got on it?
Qui-Gon in the bottom position.
Yes, that's where he belongs.
Obi-Wan 3rd.
Yes.
Anakin 2nd.
Yes.
Yoda 1st.
I think that's also the wrong answer.
Because Yoda's a badass. But anyway.
Is it really the wrong answer? Think about it.
Yeah, I think it is the wrong answer. I think the correct answer is, of course, in 5th place, Qui-Gon Jinn. By the way, we've got some good ones here. Kenobi 1st, Yoda 2nd, 3rd Qui-Gon, 4th Anakin. Qui-Gon, Obi, Anakin, Yoda, Yoda, Obi, Anakin / Vader, and then Qui-Gon. And I think that's pretty close to the right answer. The right answer is in the 5th spot, Qui-Gon Jinn. In the 4th spot, hanging around at number 4, we have got Anakin. Just because if they did it like Vader-ish, I think it would have been better. Not Anakin, but whatever. In number 3, we have got Yoda. And in number 1, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And because Obi-Wan Kenobi wasn't just awesome because he was the first one to give himself to the Force, did it kind of the right way, he also was the baddest ass out of all of them. So there you go. That's what we got. Qui-Gon, what do we got? Palps. Palps did turn into a Force Ghost. Oh, just kidding, Yoda. All right, there we go. Qui-Gon, Obi. Mad speeder bikes for PFF. What the hell? We could do those mods later. I just am dying here because you guys don't know, but I have got the flu and it has been killing me, and sticking on for more than 2 hours probably isn't going to be in my mindset. If you guys have another list that you want to do real quickly, we can do it. Just name it real quickly. Or if you guys say, or whatever, if you have one on the originals, you could think of real quickly.
Oh, from the originals?
I mean, we can
can't
move on
think.
to other ones, but I don't know if we want to go how much longer. What are you going to say? Which one were you going to say before that?
I was gonna say Jedi from the prequels.
Jedi from the prequels. Those would that's a lot of Jedis from the prequels because you've got. We might actually have to come up with a list for that.
Yeah,
Like
we'll
the
have to
Jedis-
do that next time. We'll have to do that next
Jedis
time.
from the prequel. There's like the whole council. There's I mean, there's a bunch of Jedis.
We'll do that one for next time.
What we could do is we could do the prequels next week. Maybe
Yeah,
next
we can
week
do
or
prequels
the week
next
after.
week.
Yeah. All right. Hey, how about this? Out of droids that are so the 3 droids are going to be R2D2, C3PO, and what's the droid that breaks down that they break down?
RD4.
RD4. All right, rank them real quick. Starships. Ooh.
Oh, well, let's go first. You're gonna go first, Red.
Yeah, it's easy. It's R2D2, C3PO. Well, R2D2, the one that breaks down, then C3PO. C3PO is annoying, and Daniel's is a maniac. So there you go. You need to make a list. They have everyone pick 2, 3. You need to make a list. Oh yeah, we probably should do it. Go ahead, Dom. What do you got? Favorite color saber.
You got R2, RD4, C3PO. And the reason why I got RD4 is because he's been working for the Alliance, for the Rebel Alliance for the longest time.
He's a good character.
Yes.
Fade.
I'd have to say R2D2,
R4, C3PO, because C3PO annoys me.
Yeah, I mean, true fans know that C3PO is a joke. All right, starships from the OG, from the original series. The question here, Wookiee Fanatic, is does the Death Star count? Does the Death Star count?
It's a starship.
It does move about in space. It does have hyperdrive.
Let's just give a couple real quick. Let's give a list. Let's make a list real quickly of things that we're going to do top 3, but we're going to list as many as we can. All right. So we have an X-wing. That is what Luke drove. We have a Y. The Y-wing shows up too, doesn't it?
Yeah, X-wing, A-wing, Y-wing.
Yep.
A-wing, Y-wing, X-wing, A-wing, Y-wing,
B-wing. Those are the 4 fighters for the rebellion.
And B-wing show up. What's the one that's on Hoth? The snow speeder.
The snow speeders.
It is a snow speeder. Okay, snow speeder. And then
you have the 3 different TIE fighters would be the regular TIE, the TIE Advanced.
Yep.
No, there's 4 TIE fighters. It's the regular TIE, the TIE Advanced, which is Vader's TIE.
Yeah.
That was TIE Interceptor and the TIE Bomber.
The TIE Bomber.
Yeah.
TIE Bomber.
The Interceptor and the Bomber are the last 2.
Interceptor, okay. And then you have Death Star, Millennium Falcon. What else?
Home One.
Home
One, which is
Home One. Yeah, you have Home One. You have, and then you have those big base ships too. You also have got Star Destroyers.
Star Destroyers. Yep.
There's 3 different types of Star Destroyers.
Yeah, we're just gonna do We're gonna do TIE Fighters are gonna be one group. Because we're not good. You get all the TIEs. You get all the TIE Fighters except for the Advanced TIE Fighter. You get X-wings or all the other wings, Y, A, and B wings. You get the Snow Speeder, the Millennium Falcon, the Death Star. What else?
Vader's the Executor, Vader's Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
That's
the Executive
Imperial Starship. We're doing the whole trilogy, the whole original trilogy. Slave One.
Slave One. You get Slave One. Slave One's there too. You get the Executioner, which is Vader's Imperial Death Ship.
Yep.
Dang, I just had one on the tip of my tongue and I forgot what the heck it was. It had to be around Millennium Falcon, Home One, Slave One.
The Star Dreadnought.
Yeah, no. What else are we forgetting? There's got to be something in there. Somebody. AT-AT's Land. That's not it.
The Lambda shuttle, the triangular looking shuttle that the Emperor uses.
That's what I was saying. Imperial, the landed shuttle. Thank you. And John got it too. Landed shuttle, X-wing, and TIE fighters. His 3. X-wing. What does he say? It's easy. TIE fighter, X-wing, and the Falcon. Very good. Yes, it counts. I don't know what he's saying. Yes, it counts too. The Falcon. Okay. TMNT guy. What are you talking about? Samurai Grandma. She is Samurai Grandma at this point. I get it. AT-AT, the bikes. Those don't count. Those are subspecies airboy of what's not going on. All right, Dom, do you have a list for us? I know what your number one is. Give me three, starting off with number three.
Number three.
Yeah.
I would give the X. Well, you know what? X-wings, the X-wing fighter.
Okay.
Luke's X-wing fighter because of that.
Yeah.
Definitely the Millennium Falcon, and then Slave One. Slave One ship.
Not surprised.
I'm very easy when it comes to know what I like.
All right, Dave, what do we got?
TIE Interceptor in the number 3 position.
Okay.
Because I love speedy starships. The second Death Star in the second position.
Okay. The second one, the half-ass built one.
Yeah, because it had a more powerful turbo laser.
Fair.
And in the top position, Vader's Star Dreadnought, the Executor.
Okay.
Because that thing was a floating city in space.
That thing was huge. Yeah. I have to have at 3. Do I have to have it there? Yeah. At 3, we're going to go Slave One. You just have to. I'm torn between 2 because I'm torn between the Executor, which is really good. Wayseeker runes on all of a sudden. Wayseeker, what are you doing? Coming back from kicking little kids?
I have, yeah. I've made about 1,000 kids cry tonight. It was great. Nobody believes in Santa Claus here in Denver. We are a enlightened city.
Awesome.
You monster.
Okay, so we got Slave One, and then I'm kind of between. Yeah, I guess I was going to give it to the advanced TIE fighter that Vader uses, except for it just spun out into space. So I'm going to have to go with the Executioner, and of course, number 1 overall, a Millennium Falcon. It's the best. Wayseeker is here, yeah. Wayseeker jumped on. Wayseeker, people are making fun of your news because you put yourself in the news.
I knew you weren't going to actually read the links I gave you, so I had to put my own opinions in there, you know?
Okay.
So I had to lead you in the direction I would have led you if you weren't.
Do you see what? Hey, have you caught what we're doing right now?
No.
We're literally just raking shit from like some categories from Star Wars. Like we just did spaceships that are in the sky, or spaceships, and it was you could choose any spaceship and give it the top 3. I think we've gone through all the original stuff, unless there's something we've missed. I guess
we pretty much hit everything in the original.
We could do favorite Ewoks. We could do that. Is there anything you'd like to add there, Wayseeker?
Did you get your favorite Star Destroyers?
Favorite Star? It wasn't. No, because there's only like 2, right?
It's like a Brazilian famous Star Destroyer.
There's the Imp Stars, the Star Dreadnought, which is Vader's ship, the Executor.
Executor.
And then there's the there were actually 3 classes of Star Destroyers in the original trilogy.
Star Destroyer. Chimera should be on the list, right?
Were they in the original 3 trilogies though? You saw them in the original 3 trilogies.
Yeah,
no, it has to be in the original 3 trilogies.
Yeah, it has to be in the original 3.
Oh.
Now you do have an Imp Star that is you had the Destructor, which was Vader's ship in A New Hope.
He wants to do droids. You want to do all droids. You want to do all droids in. Okay, let's make a list of all droids. And we kind of did the big 3, but we'll do all droids. All right, so you get all droids. Take your top 3. You get R2D2. You get C3PO. You get what's the one I keep forgetting all the time that we just ranked?
R4.
R4. You get Mouse Droid. You get
Gonk Droid.
Gonk Droid. Oh, that's an outside looking in. Yep. You get you get a torture droid, the droid that tortures people in the Jabba's palace.
EV-99.
Yep. Okay.
IG-88, technically a droid.
Give it to you. IG-88.
Yep.
What else do we got? Med Bay droid.
Med droids. 2 1B units. Med droids. Thinking.
Probe droid? We talked about probe
droids. Probe droids.
Probe droids it is. Probe droids.
Did we say the what's the damn? I'm going blank now. The droids on Hoth. What's the
Those would be probes, right? Or
Probe
what? What about the torture droid? Is it
Yeah,
the torture
torture
droid's
droid.
different?
yeah
Interrogation droid.
That's what it is. Interrogation droid.
Yeah. Oh, the little floating ball. With
the Death Star droid?
the floating ball droid, the interrogation droid. Yeah.
What about the Death Star droid?
Which one's that?
Yeah, what's that?
The silver ones that are on the Death Star. They had the bug eyes.
Oh yeah. They were in the. You actually see one of those in the Jawa Sandcrawler.
Yeah.
New Hope.
They're pretty much the C-3P version of the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and
right.
then, of course you have Zuckuss's companion too, Forlon. He was a droid.
Here's our options: R2D2, C-3PO, R4, Mouse Droid, Gonk Droid, EV, which is the torture droid, IG-88, Med Droids, Probe Droids, and Interrogation Droids. Top 3. Give them to me. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, give me EV-99, the torture
Torture droid.
torture droid.
Okay.
Number 2, give me IG-88,
Okay.
and number 1, R2D2.
All right. Dom, what do you got?
Go away, Seeker. You go first.
Lacey, you got him?
Yeah.
I'll go. I'll go IG-88 for 3.
Okay.
I gotta go C-3PO and then R2 for.
Oh, wow. Boo. Boo, Wayseeker. Of course he does. That's weak. Dom, do you want to go or do you want me to give you guys the right answer?
I'll go. Let me go. Let me go with 3, the Grunk droid.
Yeah.
Get him in there. Let me get the IG-88, and let me get the torture droid E5.
Okay, there you go. All right, here's the true answer.
You can't be more wrong. Like,
no, he is right. He's close. He's closer than you. Outside looking in, I got to give an outside looking in. Shout out Mouse Droid. All right, Mouse Droid outside looking in. We're going to give you the 3 now coming in here. Number 3 is actually the interrogation droid because that thing's, I think, still giving children and adults nightmares to this day. You don't want. Where are they going to stab that thing? By the way, in your eye? Are they going to stab something inside and then in your eye? I don't know.
I mean, I'm just saying. Andor made that droid less cool when they did like that thing with the kids like crying and like dying, and that like just got everybody to crack. Like,
Listen,
that was the coolest
Princess Leia
thing ever.
Princess Leia got freaking stabbed with those damn things, and whatever she gave up information, she gave up. She got pricked with those damn things. So
she didn't give up any information though.
Yes, she did.
I know.
Hold on. So number 2 is the correct answer is Gonk Droid. It is the correct answer for number 2. And number 3, as you know, the best droid of them all, because he was there from the beginning to the end and everything in between, is R2D2. That is the correct answer. Let's go to the people. R2D2, IG-88, and then nothing. Alien species. We are not doing aliens. They're all alien species.
The humans.
Hey, can we do women in bikinis and see which one Dom ranks over another one?
No. I don't want to get fired.
We're getting fired. Wait, Atro's gonna come call him? Please.
He already used one as his example of minor characters that he liked the best. Okay. Thank you, Wayseeker, for showing up just as we ended, so you can get credit for being on the show. We'll send you a check in the mail.
Yep.
Hopefully next week will be a little bit better. We will talk about some of the upcoming things. Next week, we'll talk a little bit more about the upcoming books that we're excited. We did talk a little bit about that today, but going forward, we'll have another one of the Transformer toy sections. Hopefully, remember, it took a month and a half to get that one, so we'll see how long it takes to get the next one. And we'll have, hey, are we coming up on the our look in here, Wayseeker, for our comic books?
It'll be January. Yeah.
It'll be January. Okay, so we have a little bit more. We'll figure out something else. We might get into our favorite 1 in 50 exclusive or 1 in 50 variants and see where their prices are. Kind of like we did that 1 in 100 the other day.
I'm thinking we might also do a few top 10s coming at the end of the year. Like, yeah. Worst covers, worst Star Wars covers of the year, ranking the worst covers. That could be fun. There's a lot of bad ones.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
We will come up next week too with a we'll do the prequels. So we'll come up with a list for you guys to rank. Since we did this rough one, you guys seem to like it. We will also do oh man, that's all right. Yes, I am. All right. Yeah, we'll do that fun game at the end. We'll do a fun game where we kind of do it. We'll give you guys lists. Maybe if you follow us on IG, we'll put some of the lists out early on IG. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
That'll work.
We can do that. All right. Hey, Dub. Yes, I am streaming, by the way, Dub. Thank you. All right. Good to see you guys all. We're taking you off. Wayseeker, I hope you didn't kick too many kids in the butts. Hopefully you
didn't. Where is Dom? Like, where's all his pops? Like, what is going on?
He's in a hotel room because he just informed us 30 minutes before the show started that happy birthday, Giggles Fat. By the way, chat, happy girl. Yeah. And it's her birthday today. So
Her birthday, yes. So we went away for the day.
Could have told us that last week.
Yeah. Like when I'm gone, I give like Marco like a month and a half notice, which she doesn't ever remember because he can't remember anything past tomorrow. But it's still the right thing to do.
That this was a last minute thing, really quick. We did it and then we figured out what happened.
Hey, Paul.
Was it a last minute thing you did 30 minutes ago before the show started?
Her birth. She was just birthed. Yeah. You didn't know her birthday was today? We're gonna try to get Dom in A trouble.
No, we don't want to get Dom in trouble here.
We went out yesterday with her parents and her family, and then today we drove upstate, went to some wine vineyards, and had some wine tasting, and had a good time. So we're like
wine vineyards where?
Wine vineyards upstate in
in New York. Okay,
upstate New York.
I didn't know they had them there. Huh?
Right. Yeah,
yeah, they have some good ones in upstate New York.
Yeah.
You can get Dub's watching the news right now. So you won't get any of our messages. All right. Well, that's all we got to say. We'll talk to you guys more. We'll get those lists to you guys so that you guys can participate. I know some of you found that game fun. We're going to have to do it so that maybe we'll actually even put them on there so they'll give some time to answer back because I know the answering thing is there. I got to figure out what the timing is and maybe I'll just get a clock so that we can write down our answers. It's just a weird situation with this because nobody likes dead air time. All right. We'll figure it out, though. You guys enjoyed that game. Black K figure and toe cleaner. What? I don't even know what TNT is going on.
Java washer.
Good, thank you. We'll try to figure out a way to make that little game that we played at the end more fan participation because I know a lot of you guys had it, but then by the time you guys can type stuff, we're already moved on to the next one. So we'll figure out that delay. Maybe we'll do 6 seconds or something. I don't know. All right. Why is this guy? Oh, because that's who you guys wanted to play him. All right. Anyways, I'm trying to find the outro. All right, guys. Everybody have a good one. Thank you very much.